You're listening to Pave Media Show.
Visit pavemedia.net for more podcasts and video entertainment.
Last time on the Fake Nerd Podcast, our heroes went and got the Cascade Badge from the Cerulean City Gym, but now they just realized they have to board a train to Rhyme City to help Detective Pikachu solve one of the most important cases of their lives. But while they're there, Ben also wants to get the Rhyme City to battle the Rhyme City Gym to get the famous Rock Badge. Will our heroes make it to the Pokemon League? Find out on this episode of the Fake Nerd Podcast.
Psyduck!
Hey guys, it's episode 142 of the Fake Nerd Podcast. If you haven't figured it out, we're talking about Detective Pikachu today.
Bunch of grown-ass men.
Among other things.
Yep. I'm Ben Magnet, former Pokemon League champion.
I'm
really?
I was.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I have beaten the Elite Four, and I was the former champion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, this movie was made for you.
I'm Ryan Eliopoulos, and I didn't do any of that.
You weren't the... I beat the Elite Four in the Johto region, and I beat them in the Kalos region.
Quality content.
Do you know, like, when you first get your Pokemon, and the very first trainer you fight, it's like the trainer battle?
It's
like,
it's
training?
It's
That's
your,
me.
like, quote-unquote rival.
That's me. I'm that very first trainer.
You're my rival?
No. I'm the first trainer on the route where it's like the really weak-ass trainer.
Oh, where they all have bug Pokemon?
Yes.
Okay.
Level 1.
You're just running around with the butterfly net like,
Yes.
I'll catch something.
I'm a child.
I don't even need a Pokeball.
Introduce us, Ben.
I'm Ben Magnet. That's Ryan Eliopoulos, Sparks Whitty,
Hey.
and Brandon T. McClure.
Hi.
All of whom are Pokemon. Gazootai.
Sorry.
Bless you.
I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh master, actually.
No, you're a Digimon boy.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? Yeah, I was born into Digimon when I was a kid.
You're a
I know.
Digimon
Yeah.
dude.
I know where
Digi-dude.
you land.
Yeah, but like I played Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't play Digimon.
Sure.
Did you play Pokemon?
Nobody
No.
played
Oh.
Digimon. They just watched Digimon.
I played Digimon.
Nobody.
I actually did play Digimon.
Also, there's a bunch
How-
of Digimon games.
How long did you stick with Digimon, though?
Not not long.
Yeah.
Season
I
two.
collected more cards.
Look,
though, 'cause I
all
found
three of them had card games, and the
Yeah.
only one that actually made sense was Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's
so.
true.
Yeah.
That I will agree with that.
I collected only one kind of card. Dragon Ball Z.
I had those
Hell.
cards too, dude.
Yeah.
Did you have the sword, the Z sword that like
Hell
went up in
yeah,
power?
I had the Z sword.
Yeah, dude. That's
All right,
real
let's
shit.
went off the rails. How are you guys?
I'm
Great.
good.
Super duper.
What'd you guys do this week?
I had Pokemon, too. I don't know who I'm fooling.
I think everyone had.
Man, I always want. Man, remember the first Pokemon movie that came out and they gave
Oh,
you the
yeah.
Mew cards? I had that for
I
a
got
long
the,
time.
So
no,
in
the,
my drawer
Mew,
upstairs.
the ancient Mew card came with Pokemon 2000, but they also
No,
gave
that
away.
came with the first movie, I thought.
It was the second one because the
Why
card
would it
was
go with the second one?
because the card was featured in the second movie. The
Weird.
first one
he would
was Pokemon. Had it was a Mewtwo card. I got that, and it had a golden boss that said Pokemon the first movie on
Did
it.
anyone ever get a holographic Charizard? That was the one I always wanted.
Fanny did.
The first movie was the one that got the Burger King promotion we were talking
Yeah,
about.
the
though,
first.
right?
Yeah, it was the Burger King promotion with the regular toys and like the special $6.99 gold-plated Pokemon.
Yeah,
I
you
had
get,
all
you
that.
get
I
a big
remember those.
Pokeball and the gold-plated card inside.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah,
Oh.
right?
Oh yeah.
Man, Burger King let
Those
that.
things were big.
No, those
Burger
those
King, you know what?
Pokeball- Yeah,
Like, fast food toys used to be real, like, they put effort
Expensive.
into them.
Yeah. Now
well,
they're
the Pokemon
garbage.
Pokemon was a big thing because it had
Used to be Beanie Babies.
yeah, but I remember for Pokemon because every toy came in a Pokeball, like those plastic Pokeballs.
yeah.
that
Oh
they
yeah.
had. And you could actually clip on your belt so you could walk around with Pokeballs
Oh, my God,
on
I
your belt.
had, like, a bunch of those.
Dude, I
the-
felt so cool and I
The
wasn't.
first one I had, I remember,
Right.
I got a keychain one, and it was Nidoking. And I loved that Nidoking. He was like the coolest, and I was playing at my next door neighbor's front lawn.
Nidoking
He
in
fell
the
into the
castle.
bushes, and I could never find him.
Nido
My
lost.
my Nidoking was lost, and it hurt my soul.
I had a Geodude. I remember him specifically.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Rest in peace, Geo.
Geodude.
He's a dude.
All right.
This is the most nerd.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to Hey, we're talking about Pokemon, baby.
We
This is
are.
the only
We
time we
are.
get to talk about it.
All right, so what did you guys do this week?
Oh, Ryan, what did you and I do yesterday?
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't remember going?
Just kidding. We went to the Renaissance Fair.
We did. And
I'm
it was
sunburned.
awesome.
It was
Yes,
great.
you are.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love going to the Ren Fair. It's been a year since I've been. Man, it's like a Comic-Con, but maybe better, honestly.
Yeah?
Because, like, way more people dress up. Way more people are just there to, like, enjoy the experience. Like, no one's pressuring you to buy stuff. You can try on everything, and no one's mad at you if you don't buy it. Because a lot of everything's like $300.
Yeah.
But, man, seeing jousting, Like it's some good. It's medieval times, but like all day.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
no, I just like it because people are just dressed up. I was really happy that a lot of people knew who I was.
Yes. Once you got your yellow hat, it definitely improved it.
I dressed up as a black mage from Final Fantasy 1.
Mm-hmm.
And shout out to my buddy Ryan.
Other Ryan.
RYE_N_cosplay on Instagram. Who
Talented
made he made my wizard hat or my mage hat, and it was awesome. That was the first time I like tried it. I did something like that for the Ren Fair, like dressed up that much.
Yeah.
And I had a great time.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that one person who came up to me asked me if I was Cartman from South Park. That was a deep cut.
That was
weird.
super funny. Yeah. Like they play the stick of truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw your Instagram story where you did your Gandalf thing.
Oh yeah.
And I'm often intrigued by like random impersonations that people can do of people.
Uh-huh.
And like your Gandalf specifically, like I've heard your other stuff, it's not good, but like
Well, thanks for that.
No, your other Gandalf specifically, but your that specific line of dialogue when he's doing the Balrog thing, that sounds really good, and so it made me think of like what, like I could probably do something like I could say a line of dialogue that sounds just like the guy, but nothing else.
When you look like the character, it helps.
Yeah.
When you're in
So I
character.
thought that was funny.
Huh.
It's kind of a compliment, kind of a funny anecdote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
They have a Wicker Man there. And I
saw
think that's
that.
dope.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think
that
Wicker
too.
Mans are dope.
Anything else you guys did? This week?
Well, Ben and I
Consumer
went to the Ren Fair, but
We did.
But us three did something as well. Didn't we go to Disneyland?
Oh yeah, we went.
Oh,
to
yeah, we went to
this
You
weekend.
Disneyland.
fools! Like, well, come on, guys.
We
Yeah,
went to
you
Disneyland.
awesome.
You said us three, and I thought it was Ben, Ryan, and
Oh,
I.
no,
So
sorry.
You were looking at me, and you'd just been talking
Sorry,
about Ben. So I was like, what?
I did a swerve.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
sorry.
The Chino 3.
The
This
Chino
helped
3, yeah.
nobody who's listening to it.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Went
So
to Disneyland.
Brandon, Ryan, and I
Yes.
went to Disneyland together.
That was
Yeah,
great.
that was fun.
Hello,
a lot of fun.
great.
It was nice to get away.
Tom Holland was there, and we missed him.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tom Holland was there that morning, and,
So
and
the
we
whole
didn't
cast
see him
was
at all.
there?
He was
Yeah,
there
okay.
being Spider-Man.
I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
He was in his black. Oh, did you not see this?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Tom Holland did the Spider-Man pictures in the morning,
What?
like as Spider-Man.
Like he
a
was
lot
in
of
his
the cast
Spider-Man
He
suit?
was in his like Spider-Man suit doing pictures with people.
And he
Oh.
pretended to be the Spider-Man face character.
Oh.
And so he was doing the whole thing. He was doing the poses, and the cast like show up, like Jake Gyllenhaal and Zendaya and Ned. I forgot his name, and they're all there. It's like, oh my god, and like Tom Holland is like, oh my god, the cast of Spider-Man Far From Home. What's
So
going on?
crazy.
And
What
this
a
is so
coincidence.
weird. He takes off his mask. He's like, this is so weird. And I was like, oh my god, Tom Holland.
Right.
What a cool dude.
Yeah.
That is
That
great.
is awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I mean, if I was Spider-Man, I would.
Absolutely.
Oh, I would totally
Absolutely.
do that.
I think he likes it a little bit.
I think so too.
Wouldn't you? Yeah.
Guarantee you, Dwayne Johnson's going to be piloting some Jungle Cruise at some
Absolutely.
point.
Oh, we didn't go on Jungle Cruise. I forgot.
Oh.
10-minute waits,
That's
dude.
going to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Jungle Cruise is one of those things where you're just looking at it, and it's like, my Fast Pass for Indiana Jones kicks in
The-
about 10 minutes, so why not?
The only reason I refuse to go on Jungle Cruise if it's a long wait time is because you have the chance of having a bad ride.
Yeah.
Because it's all
Yeah.
about who the host is.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Just get rid of the bad host.
Can never get rid of the bad hosts.
Oh.
They're like a cancer.
Everybody has bad days.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Did you guys consume any media or what's going on?
We sure did.
Besides the
Yeah,
one we're reviewing
Ryan
today?
and I finished Deadly Class.
Cool.
Holy shit, man.
It's good.
Yeah, that's some good
Like
stuff.
I'm
That better get a season 2.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Oh, the Orville just got picked up for a season 3.
good
Oh,
for
yeah, I
the
heard
Orville.
about that.
Stoked
Good
about
job,
that.
Orville.
I was really worried about that with the Disney deal, but I'm so happy that
Yeah.
Fox decided to renew it.
It's
Yeah.
good. I'm glad it's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deadly Class, like, it did something different from the comics, and at first I was like, whatever, but it really built to something really strong. And now, like, it's almost like a weird prequel because it sets up one of the main characters, Master Lin.
Yeah.
He's a lot more sympathetic and nice in this show,
Yeah.
where he's a straight up asshole in the comic. And now they kind of gave him a purpose to be like that character from the comics, and it's shifted narrative like from different volumes into the first season. So it's really interesting the way that Rick Remender was able to retell his own story and be like, oh, I wanted to do things differently. And it's really incredible.
It's kind of like Robert Kirkman in the early days of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
He talked about how he wanted to use the TV show to fix kind of the what he saw were narrative issues that the comic books suffered from.
Yeah.
Sure.
Smart.
He went away from that when he's no longer totally fair part of the show anymore.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
concentrating on finishing the comic. But yeah, that's cool when
He's
a
got other
creator
stuff.
Yeah, when a creator can use another medium to either better the story they want to tell in their eyes or just do something different.
Yeah,
Sure.
And the things that it does differently are really interesting. And like episode 9 specifically is like maybe my favorite episode of television this year. So much crazy shit happens, and there's one specific scene that involves, it's gonna get gross, it involves diarrhea, and it's so like such a like seminal comic book moment for like indie comics that was like, there's no way they're gonna be able to reproduce this, and they do it in such amazing ways, and it's so funny and so comic booky, and like I know you liked it, like as gross as it is, like it's just,
I was impressed they went there.
yeah, and it's on Sci-Fi. And it's like, man, the shit they're doing on Sci-Fi, literally the shit they're doing on Sci-Fi is incredible.
Between Deadly Cast and Happy.
And Happy, yeah.
It's insane.
It's super cool.
If it doesn't get another season, it's going to really bum me out. It makes me nervous that like this show deserves a big audience.
And I don't normally talk about this, but like I did a tweet about Deadly Class, and it got really big, and half the cast and Rick Remender like tweeted it and retweeted it.
Buddy, you need to
That's
need to
awesome.
post another tweet. Be like, hey, this really blew up. Follow me on the Fake Nerd Podcast.
Oh yeah, I don't like doing that.
Pander.
Yeah,
Pander.
I just love supporting things that I want to support. And it has a really big following because it hasn't got the second season, and a lot of the people retweeting it, like their hashtag is Renew Deadly Class.
Yeah.
So it does have a strong audience, but I don't know if enough people watched it, and that really scares me.
Yeah,
because it's
that'd be
really good.
Big bummer because that was really great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if Sci-Fi can renew, this isn't me saying that like they're bad shows, but like if Happy and Winona Earp can still find their audiences, then this should find an audience too.
Absolutely.
The Sci-Fi Channel has has come to realize that their audience base is not as large as it used to be. So I think what they consider a success is a lot lower than what it used to be.
Yeah.
That's nice, at least.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they went through a large period. We know Sci-Fi's history. After Stargate, SG-1, Battlestar Galactica, their, like, heyday, they went...
Big lull.
The big, huge lull with wrestling and horrible B movies, C movies, honestly.
Yeah.
And I think they know that they lost a lot of good faith. And so I think now that they're kind of in almost a renaissance, I would say.
I would say yes.
I think that they're trying to... They're
I'd
looking
say
at
definitely we're at a renaissance for Sci-Fi.
Yeah, I think they're looking at everything as kind of at a lower tier than they would have been in their heyday.
They've got a lot of strong offerings now.
Yeah.
Was Sharknado Sci-Fi? Or
Yes,
it
was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That first one's still fun. Krypton season 2, like I'm still impressed with that trailer. Like
I am too.
I'm gonna watch that season.
Yeah,
I'm
I watched
stoked.
that. I watched that second season trailer. That looked awesome.
Yeah.
That's the whole show.
Brainiac looks like Brainiac.
Yeah.
Doomsday looks incredible.
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
What?
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
I have not seen
Brainiac,
this.
Doomsday, Lobo. Yeah, they're all there.
And
Off,
Lobo
off
looks
air, we'll
awesome
show
too.
you it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
Lobo, for translating Lobo and still having it be a person, not a CGI creation, looks pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see.
I didn't do much else media.
What else did I do this week?
I was kind of sick a lot.
Okay, so I've listened to a lot of podcast stuff, and a couple of things I want to drop here.
Drop it.
Be Good and Rewatch It is a podcast done by the same people who do Waypoint over on Vice.
Hell yeah.
And
That's going away.
That ended, it seems. And their last episode was their review and discussion of Us. And the reason I bring this up is it was so good.
Us?
Of the
No, the
movie
movie Us.
Jordan Peele's Us. And I bring it up specifically, anybody who like wanted to really think about what Jordan Peele was saying with the movie, or the many avenues of different thoughts that were behind that film, listen to them talk about that film. I think that they bring about every angle you can possibly look at it from, and they're talking, so it will open your mind to what that movie was doing. Brandon, I specifically wanted to recommend it to you that if you're ever going to watch Us again, I think this might give you a clear insight into that film. So Be Good and Rewatch It's last episode about Jordan Peele's Us. Episode 516 of Slash Filmcast
Hell yeah.
it's a 3-hour thing.
We're used to that.
They have 3 different segments in it. At the 2 hour and 34-minute mark, the guy has on a writer and host from the film stage, Brian J. Rohn. He's on there discussing specifically, like, it's an hour discussion of just the morality of how they undo Thanos' snap in Endgame. It is specifically just about the ramifications of the choice they make to bring people back 5 years later, and whether or not that was a morally good choice. Now, when we talked about Endgame, I kind of hinted that I didn't think that was a great decision that like none of the Avengers even argued with the idea of like just bringing everybody back 5 years later. This is a person who very openly, like in all of his critique on all kind of media, he always brings up the fact that like a pain of his perspective of where it comes from. In this one in particular, he's saying like he had a friend who committed suicide 12 years ago, and that's where he's thinking about the grieving process and what that does to a person, and if his friend were just like brought back, the ramifications of what that has done to your life, and whether or not it's a morally strong decision for our heroes to have just done that to the universe, because they have those 5 years of grief. They're not the same people. And like he makes the same like a lot of the comebacks, and like the person hosting the podcast is kind of arguing against him. But he makes a lot of solid points about just people are kind of washing the argument away with like, you're thinking about it too much. It's a comic book movie. And he's like, well, but if a lot of people are also saying that it's an art piece talking about grief, if that's a big focal point and they want it to be taken sincerely, then we need to be able to at least have these discussions about it.
Yeah, I think we all kind of hinted that we were all on the same page that maybe there was something more that they should have done with that, specifically the morality of that.
And it's not even like saying, oh, Endgame is bad because of this. It's just worth the discussion. And I thought this was a good outlet that I hadn't really seen doing it. So again, episode 516 of Slash Filmcast jumped to the 2 hour and 34-minute mark.
Hope you guys are writing this one down. Also, last week we had our longest episode to date, so thank you everyone for listening to that.
Thank you.
So I think that's really worth a discussion. I really enjoyed listening to it. I thought it brought a lot of fresh perspective to like what is that? What is that world? And it does kind of jumping back to our last week's episode where we're talking about the future of the MCU. It does make me a little like I don't think we're going to see a lot of that fallout. I don't think we're going to see a lot of that in the MCU future. We're not going to see a lot of how does this affect relationships. And this is one of those instances where I'm really sad that we aren't going to have things like the Netflix shows that are connected to the MCU anymore. Like that they would be more connected, because that would be great ground level to see people living in the world 5 years after that kind of grief.
Absolutely.
I wish there was an outlet to explore that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Which isn't going to be doing it, right? Yeah. But like specifically like picturing just Jessica Jones, like imagine that Trish had been snapped and then came back 5 years later. Like just what she would go through with that process. That's an insane.
That's weird. Why would you mention that one all of a sudden?
It's because I'm watching Jessica Jones season 2.
There you go.
Part of that comes from the other thing I want to plug. Patrick Willems has a podcast, guys. It's called the Infinity Podcast.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I started listening to it. I'm like 6-7 episodes deep. They talk about. So they're like, this is a podcast about Marvel movies. They talk about Marvel movies about 5 minutes of every podcast episode.
That's my kind of podcast.
Because they tangent onto all these things. But what they are doing is they're saying they want to talk about like what the Marvel movies mean to the culture and what the extension effects are of just the beast that the MCU is in our pop culture today.
I've been curious about listening to that for that reason.
It's really great. And Patrick Willems, the early episodes I've been listening to, they're talking a lot about some of the Netflix stuff, and that made me want to go back. And I'm like, you know what, I need to finish those Netflix shows.
Yeah, you do.
But that's really great. And finally, lastly, of course, our friends Downright Nerdy. They have been releasing a Game of Thrones series just like us, by the way. We did YouTube stuff this week. Our Game of Thrones episode came out really late. Sorry about that. There were issues. Also,
was there a Basement Arcade this week? I didn't see.
There was a Basement Arcade this week, yes.
Every week.
Yeah, it did drop on Wednesday. And
I really dropped the ball on social media this week. I'm sorry.
That's okay. And our video version of last week's podcast went up today. Sorry about that. And so there you go. Anyway, Downright Nerdy, they do their Game of Thrones thing. On their last Game of Thrones episode, they challenged Ben, Ryan, and I to have a bingo card battle with them for the Game of Thrones finale, which we have agreed to as well, depending. I have talked to him about this, depending on how this last episode tonight shakes out. Because we've both agreed that if there's just not enough to speculate about for the finale, we won't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So it really depends how tonight shakes out.
Yeah.
The other thing is
an ongoing bingo series between the two shows.
Also, I kind of like this because I also was listening to them this week, and I did not realize this, but they're based up in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Yep.
And I kind of like how
nearby, not too far from where Sparks and I used to live.
Yeah, and
not too far.
I kind of like it how we have this back and forth thing because you know me, I'm a big sports guy, so I like the whole NorCal versus SoCal rivalry we have, especially with the bingo cards.
Sports.
Yeah. And the other thing is they released their most recent episode yesterday. I started listening to it, and I just wanted to let you know, Brandon, that Michael Carl's almost messed up and dropped the bread and butter as the introduction to their news segment, and he was like, "I've been listening to too much Fake Nerd podcast."
Yeah.
As Ryan would say, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to Jeremy for our music.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, that's all my plugs because I consumed a whole lot of podcast media this
Nice.
week.
Very nice.
I watched. I would not watch. I was listening to Downright Nerdy.
Yeah.
So shout outs to them. And the only big media that I've been consuming when I've been coming home from work is Fanny and I. We've been co-oping Cuphead.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen
We're
you've
on
been doing that.
We're on Inkwell Island 2, and this week this Baroness von Bonbon. She's one of the bosses you fight.
That's
in
not what
Cuphead.
Fanny calls her.
Oh no, we both call her Baroness von Bon bitch because she is Baroness von Bon bitch. Do you know how many times we have fought that cursed sweet slinging biatch and died?
Too many.
So many times.
Oh yeah,
So
baby.
many times.
Oh yeah, baby.
And we finally beat her. And then the next boss we beat him in like 3 runs.
yeah.
It's like,
'Cause you got the
I don't know
adrenaline.
how hard it was, but we must have lost her up, I want to say about 200, 150 times. Because there's
Damn, dog.
no,
Yeah.
there is a thing in the second island in a Cuphead where you can go over. It's like a face in the water, and you talk to it. It will tell you how many times you've lost,
Yeah.
how many times you've died.
Yep.
It's a lot.
And we broke the 1,000 mark
Hell
after
yeah,
we
that's
fought
great.
her, and it was like 1,287 times.
Takes me to my Dark Souls days.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, well, that's like a cumulative, both for the first Inkwell Island and up to that point. But
It's also
what-
counting 2 characters, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. and I think it is counting 2 characters. It does seem, but oh man, when we beat her, it was just like a suck it.
Um,
I've been
Brandon,
playing
how
a
was
lo-
your week?
Yeah, go, Brandon.
well, I shaved and I regretted it immediately.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why I do this to myself. I always regret it after I shave.
That's why I haven't shaved in years.
But they get my haircut. It's
Yeah.
nice to see.
Yes.
My shaving distracted from my haircut.
Believe us, listeners, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw 2 films this week. One in theaters, one on YouTube.
Oh.
2 in theaters. We're reviewing the one. One
I
of
was
the
gonna
ones
say.
Yeah.
There's, but I saw Ugly Dolls. Don't go see Ugly Dolls.
Well, now that you said it.
It's I mean,
I didn't need you to convince me, but
No, look.
you do
it-
cement it.
It kind of occupies the same space as like Smallfoot and another animated film I saw last year. I don't remember which was.
Wonder Park.
Wonder Park. But Wonder Park and Smallfoot are infinitely better.
Yeah, I was gonna say you said you like Smallfoot.
I did like Smallfoot.
Yeah.
I should legitimately think Smallfoot's enjoyable.
Okay.
I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'll go so far as to say it's good,
Okay.
but it's fun and enjoyable and not a bad time to spend your time.
all right.
Wonder Park is intriguing. It's got an interesting message to it, and it's imaginative and it's fun. Ugly Dolls is painfully boring.
Shocking. That trailer was painfully boring.
Hey, do you guys remember? I want to say it was when we saw Grindelwald or something that they played.
I think you're right. I think it was
yeah,
Grindelwald.
Wow.
where
yeah.
they played the Ugly Dolls trailer.
That was
and
such a
this dude-
traumatizing night.
And the dude sitting behind us, just after the trailer was older, he just straight up yells out, "Who greenlit this?"
Yeah.
And see, here's the thing. I figured it out. It's not American. It's
a-
Japanese made.
No, it's Chinese made. I think.
Chinese made. So it's a Chinese company who made an American animated film. And whoever
Dolly.
greenlit it, fine. Ugly Dolls is a popular merchandising thing. You want to merchandise? Fine. Merchandising. That's what movies are. Merchandise.
Yeah, it is a
Transformers, the entire Transformers franchise was greenlit on merchandising. So I'm not going to besmirch that. However, whoever said Pitbull and voice actor in the same sentence should be shocked.
Dale.
Is he that bad?
He's terrible.
Does he say Mr. Worldwide at all?
No?
Damn it.
It's a musical. It's awful. He's the worst thing in the movie, and it's distractingly bad how terrible he is.
It's like Ronda Rousey in Mortal Kombat.
I was going to say, speaking of terrible, I'm still playing Mortal Kombat, and every time she's on, I'm just like, how is this still a thing?
Yeah, but at any rate, look, as I've said to both Sparks and Ryan, my girlfriend likes these movies. It makes her happy. It costs me nothing.
Yeah. AMC Pass, baby.
Yeah.
Just better movies you could watch instead.
Oh,
And I still go see those movies, to be fair.
How many Halloween films have you seen?
Oh, you mean in?
I mean,
at
like
home.
the time you could spend watching
Oh,
a different film.
That one I won't dissuade that. But I did see Raising Kratos, the YouTube documentary on.
yes.
About
I almost started
gotta
it,
watch
but
that.
I was
I
going to
haven't-
fall asleep.
I haven't started that yet.
It's very good. It's
Yeah.
very good. I kind of wish they had spent more time on the on the story developing process, like how they went from Egyptian mythology to Norse mythology. They touch on the fact that they were at Egyptian mythology at one time, but they don't talk about why that changed. And I kind of wish they had spent more time on that. But otherwise, it's good, good solid documentary on the creation of one of the best games ever.
Yeah.
So I definitely recommend that. It's on YouTube, the whole thing for free on just plain old YouTube. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it popped up on my feed, and I was like, "Oh man, I gotta watch it." But I saw how long it was.
Same.
Okay, I'm gonna put some time away for this, and then I'll watch it later.
And it reminded me, our earliest episodes was talking about the announcement of God of War.
Yeah,
about
E3.
like our second episode about
Wow.
E3.
Uh-huh.
But also reminded me, Ben, you called me and were surprised that I had gone to E3 at one time.
Yeah.
in middle school. I don't know if you know this. I used to want to be a game developer. I was hardcore into video games.
You know what? I think I remember you did tell me that you did want to become a game developer.
I
remember that.
I used to be really into video games. I had a subscription to Game Informer. I watched G4 before G4 was
It was Tech TV.
Tech TV. That's right. Yeah.
Dude, trust me. That's when actually because of the show X Play.
Yeah.
That's how my brother and I got really into. It was like, okay, we're gonna like watch X Play. If they say a game, that's how I got into God of War in the first place.
Yeah, me too.
They said God of War is a 5 out of 5. Everyone should be playing this game. So I went out, bugged my mom. She bought it for me, and I'm like, no, they're right. This game is freaking amazing.
Yeah, so it kind of like reminded me of that. They talk about God of War where it started, and I was like, man, that's right. That used to be like a passion of mine. And honestly, like it was just kind of a path that I took to the decision of wanting to just be a storyteller. Like it was just an avenue of wanting to be a storyteller that just took me to where I am now.
Same. Because I wanted to be a director.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to write. I
Yeah.
just want to be the guy who tells the story. I don't want to do it.
Exactly. That's kind of where I landed. That's all I got for this one. Do we want to move on?
Yeah.
All right.
I soaked up a lot of air, so let's go on.
I love air.
Bread and butter.
And here's your bread. And your butter.
Okay, not in my ear, thank you.
All right, then to start off with our bread and butter, we have 3 bits of sad news.
Oh,
friends.
jeez. What a week.
This was quite a week for celebrity deaths, unfortunately. So let's start with the big one. Alvin Sargent, an Oscar-winning writer for Julia, which is a Holocaust film from the 1970s, and Ordinary People. He was you'll probably, as our audience, will probably know him best as the writer of Spider-Man 2, the co-writer of Spider-Man 3, and he did a rewrite on The Amazing Spider-Man. So he was pretty into he's
Spider guy.
He's the reason why Spider-Man 2 is really good.
He wrote that movie.
Yeah.
Alone. Nobody
Alone.
co-wrote that one with him.
That movie's so good.
Sam Raimi co-wrote with him Spider-Man 3, which
Ivan
is probably
Raimi
why
too.
that Ivan Reitman did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ivan Raimi and Sam Raimi both co-wrote
Ivan Raimi.
with him for Spider-Man 3.
Right.
But Spider-Man 2 was just him.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is a really great movie. Still one of the best
Very
comic book films
focused.
of this 25 years. But he died at the age of 92. Natural causes. It's a long life.
92 is good. It's sad that he passed away, but at the same time, it's like 92 is not that. It's like you were around for a long time,
Compared to someone else in our death list, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, this was natural causes. Passed away. Seems pretty amicable.
Yeah. Really just wanted to bring it up because he wrote Spider-Man 2, and we should all remember that this is the guy that gave us Spider-Man 2.
He was
wrote that movie.
Oscar-winning writer who wrote Spider-Man 2.
That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's really great. Then I think probably next would be Peggy Lipton.
Yeah.
This was a former model who's best known for her roles on the Mod Squad, which was a police show in the 1970s or 60s?
70s, because
Yeah.
I actually did a report on the Mod Squad.
Did you really?
I had to for one of my radio classes or entertainment classes back at when I was at Mount Sac.
That's amazing.
And my professor, she was like, "Okay, you're all have to pick up some of these old TV shows." And I was really hoping to do Star Trek, but she never put Star Trek on the list. Instead, I got the Mod Squad.
Yeah, but now you know who she is.
And so that
was-
show was apparently really good. That movie that made it in the 90s is utter garbage. Don't watch it.
Oh, wow.
But most importantly, she was Norma from Twin Peaks.
Norma Jean.
Heck yeah. Love
also,
you, Norma.
Also, she's the mother of Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
Which I did not know.
Quincy Jones. is the
Quincy
pops.
Jones' wife.
Yep.
And Kidada.
And Kidada Jones, yes.
Yeah.
She died at the age of 72 this week of cancer.
Yeah.
So that is unfortunate.
Yeah, she
Really
was just
sucks.
in the return last year. It's a real bummer, man. She was sickly, so she didn't go to cons.
Yeah.
So she's one of the only people from Twin Peaks I haven't met. She's really one of the first ones to pass because like they're all getting up there in age, and I'm
Yeah.
like, Oh man, this is it. It's starting.
It's kind of like when James Doohan died from Star Trek. Like it was the first character for Star Trek to die.
Yeah.
When they get up there, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
She was wonderful as Norma.
Was she?
One of the most adorable love stories in television history.
Genuinely, there's something with that happens with her in The Return that like it gave me such closure to her character. I was like, no matter how the rest of the series goes, I'm just so happy this happened.
Yeah.
So at least there was that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right, then Pua Magasiva.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Who is the Red Wind Ranger in Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
Okay.
Died at the age of 38.
Oh, wow.
This is
Wow,
that's young.
Yeah.
It's only 10 years away from where Sparks and I are at. Ben as well. No cause of death has been given.
Oh.
So that's... Don't know.
Yeah.
That's really, it's really too bad.
This was really important. I wanted to bring this up this week because I know we have fans who are into Power Rangers. I know one in particular. A friend of mine named Xander, and this was important because this was this Power Ranger show was around 2003. Mm-hmm. This guy is Samoan born in New Zealand, and he was not only diversity casting but diversity casting as the Red Ranger, and that's just crazy. And it drew a lot of attention to the series. And a lot of people really loved the series and look back on it fondly for that. And for what he and everyone else who was in that cast brought to the table, but the fact that like he did that and passed away so young, he's also was up until his passing the host of a breakfast radio show in New Zealand.
New Zealand, yeah.
So this sucks.
Yeah, this really sucks. And the fact that he was so young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he kind of opened a whole new template for Power Ranger shows and brought a lot of people to the table of it. So
that's awesome.
Sucks.
Yeah. That really sucks.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to all. All right, let's get on to something else. How about the death of a industry? No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
losing.
I'm kidding. I wholeheartedly support this industry and this company. Disney released a 6-year slate of films.
Oh,
that is very
This
incomplete.
is the longest week of my life. I can't believe this was this week.
Oh man.
Really, we don't have to talk about the whole thing.
No, I forgot.
We did that one time. Yeah. But I do want just some interesting things happened with this slate. It did reveal some interesting nuggets. For example, New Mutants has a release date of it's next year, 2020, on April 3rd.
Yeah.
So that it looks like it's the final release date of this movie.
That was shot in 2017.
I know, seriously. God. To be fair, like they need to wait for Game of Thrones to be over to do reshoots.
I know. It's just
if they're even doing them.
Yeah,
I'm just so over.
Especially like now that Dark Phoenix is being marketed as the last X-Men movie. Like, what is New Mutants possibly going to be?
Who knows? Who knows why this decision happened?
No, will it be? How about this? Will it be repurposed to be in the MCU?
That's what I suggested to him.
I don't.
Because these are all separate characters.
I don't believe it
all
will
the
be.
X-Men.
I don't believe that Kevin Feige is going to go like, all right, no R movies, but this movie that we didn't make, that movie can be R and can be MC. I just don't see it.
Yeah, that's true. I don't see it either.
Yeah, I wish.
Was there anything in the 2019 film slate that you guys?
Artemis Fowl.
Artemis Fowl got pushed back nearly a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, Artemis Fowl is now.
That's nuts.
May 29th, 2020.
Ryan and I were talking about that, and I'll tell you what that means. That means that they have no faith that movie's going to establish a franchise because that kid is young, and if they thought that they were going to get more, they would want to get that out so they could make the sequels while he's young.
That kid's going to get Stranger Things.
So
he's
straight
get
up,
so old.
They must not believe in this.
I wonder if a lot of that reason is because they have recently acquired Fox. And Fox
it's definitely like a packed summer.
So you look at the slate for 2019 and 2020 because those films were already set.
Yep.
Disney is competing with itself.
No, yeah, I totally understand that. Artemis Fowl being pushed back to May is nearly a year. I'm like, if you pushed it back to January, February, I'd get it. They pushed it back to May.
Push it back to a summer release date.
That's
it's weird.
I don't know why they. I don't think that they have a lot of faith in it, to be honest.
It's possible. The other thing that I do want to touch on, it's nice to see Bob's Burgers movie is still on this list.
Yeah.
West Side Story, nice to see. I'm glad that's got a release date. That's Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. I'm interested to see what Spielberg specifically could do with the musical. He'd want to do one for decades, so it's nice to see. The other thing that I do want to touch on, and I tweeted about this, it's worrying to me. And I realize that the slate isn't complete. It can't be. There's no way in hell. But it's worrying to me that after 2019 there are no Fox Searchlight films.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it worries me is because Fox 2000 was recently shuttered. There are no more films coming from Fox 2000. It's gone. Fox Searchlight, however, was promised. So was Fox 2000. Both were promised to be staying around in the Disney family. Fox 2000 is no longer. Fox Searchlight, I'm worried, will go that same way, which means we will lose that avenue of filmmaking, that place where smaller independent films can be put out and made and things like that. So that worries me.
I don't know that that's...
I will say this. Indie movies take much shorter amounts of time to get created and put out than big epic blockbusters.
True.
Like literally months.
Yeah.
So like that is worrying, but I honestly, until they show me like it's done, I think it's too early to really be worried.
I agree it's too early, but it does.
This slate in general, because of it just looks like a lot of broad strokes with big tent poles.
They wouldn't put all their tiny movies on here because no one really cares about.
Well,
those.
I mean, they are all on here.
Oh,
This
okay.
is everything.
Only the ones that go up to like next year.
2020.
Yeah, because they don't know. Like they list things all the way up to 2027, but those are all just broad strokes.
Yeah.
So this is just. I think this is just reassessing things that they have acquired from Fox and trying to place everything so they're
The
not competing with
pre-established
themselves.
stuff already.
I don't think this is saying this is the everything of what they're doing going
Yeah.
forward.
No,
This is just like we're resettling. This is what it looks like right now.
I agree. That's what it looks like. It is because of what happened to Fox 2000.
Sure.
I'm kind of in heightened.
I'm with you.
I get that.
Especially because I like Fox Searchlight a lot, and I did like Fox 2000 a lot. Fox Searchlight, it also acquires films, so it stands to reason that they have not yet acquired movies to be released.
Right.
So there's also that.
That's very likely, actually.
Yeah. I just hope that Disney still sees an avenue for those independent films.
I'm sure they do. They've got a lot they've got to sort through.
Yeah. So moving on to some of the other things. Next year, surprising to see, only 2 Marvel movies.
Right, so there were originally going to be 3, but we figured that they just knocked off a date, and that was probably what Guardians 3 was originally supposed to be.
Yeah, so we have one in May 1st,
Yep.
which is Free Comic Book Day. That stands to reason. It's
Nice.
the same thing. They always do that. And then one in November.
So almost definitely the May one is Black Widow.
Yeah,
And November is likely Eternals.
that's very true.
I would bet money on that as well.
Yeah.
Which means the one after is in the next year is probably Doctor Strange too.
Yeah, and then probably Guardians because that's starting to film in 2020.
Maybe.
I think probably anyway, so the year in 2021, we have 3 Marvel films. Now, 2021 is where we get to the broad strokes that Sparks was talking about. A lot of 2021 is just Untitled Marvel, Untitled Disney, Untitled Marvel, Untitled Disney, Untitled Pixar, Untitled Indiana Jones.
I bet you one of those Untitled Marvels is Spider-Man.
No, Spider-Man has put up a Sony. It wouldn't land on this list.
Yeah, they don't drop it until
Womp
it's decided
womp.
over there. So
Indiana Jones, though.
Yeah, Untitled
Spider-Man's
Indiana
always
Jones.
kind of like a bonus Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that could be the 3rd Marvel movie next year. What did they really try to
No,
push
I
one
don't
out
think
next
they'll
year?
push a Spider-Man movie out next year.
So the Untitled Indiana Jones has a release date. This is the 5th Indiana Jones film of July 9th, 2021. So that's interesting.
Wow.
How old is Harrison Ford now?
Old.
Doesn't matter. They can de-age him, make him young.
Yeah. Disney
It's
has
a young
the aging
Indiana
magic.
Jones adventure.
They have all the money in the world.
Actually, we were talking about this at Disneyland.
Yes, we talked about it a
in
lot.
the Indiana Jones ride.
Yeah,
Did
I thought
you?
it would- yeah,
Yes.
we really did. I thought it
Man.
would be really interesting to see World War II adventure of young Harrison Ford being Indiana Jones.
I merely pointed out that it had never occurred to me that with Disney budget and money and everything that they've done so far, they could definitely do an Indiana Jones movie where he's just de-aged the entire movie.
Well,
It had never occurred to me
Yeah.
that could be the thing, and I'm like, oh, that could be. And I'm not even saying like necessarily he has to look the same he did in Last Crusade, but he could still look younger than he did.
Just
in
younger
Crystal
than he looks now.
Crystal
Yeah.
Skull.
Yeah.
And this mostly came from like, where do you go from a movie
Where
where the
he's
last
old.
one was the gag is he's old.
Yeah.
He's double old.
He's double old.
Yeah.
that's the problem that James Bond ran into. Like,
Right.
well, now he was old James Bond. What do we do? He's older James Bond.
Yeah.
He's old James Bond.
Yeah. What you guys were saying about the Fox Searchlight thing does ring a little bit more true. Looking at the 2021 and the 2022 slate for 2021, there are 2 Fox films on that slate. One of them being Avatar 2.
Right.
So they moved Avatar 2 to another year. We're looking at like 12 years since that first movie came out.
Yep.
Oh my god.
And then 2022, there's no Fox movies. It's just Disney. And again, Untitled Marvel, Untitled Pixar, Untitled Marvel, Untitled Disney, Untitled Pixar, Untitled Disney, Untitled Marvel, Untitled Disney, Untitled Disney, Untitled Disney, Untitled Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to say that specifically because if you look at these dates, there are 2 films coming out a month for Disney almost each month. Like they have packed everything to the point where they're going to start losing money from other films. Now, as a company, they can reallocate funds and things like that, but it's getting to be a problem.
Who knows how it'll sort out as it goes too.
Right. So the other thing, Avatar 2, 2021, Star Wars. So we have the first new Star Wars film in 2022.
Yep.
This is the first new Star Wars film
Taking
since
a break.
Rise of the Skywalker. They are taking a 2-year break, looks like. December, it looks like the December spot is their home for Star Wars, as it should be, I think.
Do we know if that's not going to be episode 10?
So really it'll be 3 years.
Yeah, just about. It's not episode 10.
No, they're taking a break.
No, it's not going to be.
Because I remember we were talking about because Ryan Johnson still has his
It's the
trilogy
Game of
to
Thrones
make.
guys.
It's the Game of Thrones guys.
It's the Game of
Are we sure about that? Because it could be the Ryan Johnson guys.
It's not Ryan Johnson.
No, Ryan Johnson did say as soon as this new film is done, he's going to work on Star Wars. 3 years is plenty of time.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm willing to bet it's the Star Wars. It's the Ryan Johnson one.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm putting my number there, but I will not be surprised if it is the Game of Thrones guys.
It is crazy that they have funded and built and made all these Avatar sequels that are coming. I was just thinking about it. I'm like, it is nuts that they are making so many Avatar sequels.
They're making them.
And that,
it's happening.
Yeah, like the money is already out on them, and they're coming out. Like Avatar 2 could bomb, and guess what? They're still coming out. That's nuts.
That's actually how I feel about Godzilla King of the Monsters. Like, it could bomb. I'm still getting Kong versus
Godzilla.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same thing, except it's like 3 times.
Yeah. As Parks was saying, so after 2022, the only things listed for 2023, 24, 25, 26, 27 are Star Wars and Avatar.
Yeah.
They just alternate every December.
So 2023, Avatar 3, 2024,
Yep.
Star Wars, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. I'm curious to see how a lot of these pan out. I want to know what some of these Untitled Disneys and Pixars are.
Time will tell.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Untitled Disney live actions probably means remakes of an animated classic.
Hercules, baby.
Or more Maleficent-like sequels.
Yeah.
Who
So we'll
knows?
see.
What's the second Maleficent called? Queen of Evil?
Mistress of Evil.
Mistress of Evil?
We're close.
I'm so curious.
Yeah, very curious about that. So thank God we don't need to talk about Marvel ever again.
But I like Marvel.
I'm marveled
That's
out.
definitely not. There's definitely not a trailer.
There is nothing more we need to talk about.
Oh,
for
real
Marvel.
quick.
However,
Before we jump into more Marvel stuff, I watched an interview.
we're not doing any more Marvel stuff. Shut up. I wasn't queuing up something stupid.
I watched an interview with Anthony Mackie. He was on the IMDb website, and he did an interview, and it only has 100,000 views. But he dropped a bombshell that no one's talking about. The dude was straight up asking him questions about Endgame, and he's just calling him Captain America, and he's accepting that like Sam Wilson is a new Captain America. And he's like, yeah, it's really cool, blah blah blah. Me and Chris had this great moment, and he's like, well, how does it feel to be Captain America? And he's like, well, I haven't worn the suit yet, so like I don't know what the suit and the shield look like yet, but like that show starts soon, so I'll know soon.
Hell yeah.
And he said the show is starting soon.
I mean, I
said,
can't imagine that the Falcon show, because it has to take place after Endgame.
I just didn't think he would be Captain America is my thing.
I don't think he necessarily will be. I think that he's going to be wrestling with, like we said, I think that show is going to be about him wrestling with becoming Captain America.
But what I mean is like, it's called Winter Soldier and Falcon.
Yeah.
Like he's not the Falcon. He is Falcon, but he has a shield is what I mean. I didn't expect it to be there.
Yeah.
I thought it would have been like a prequel
I didn't think
show.
they were just going to ignore the way Endgame
It's a sequel, and that's cool.
I only think there's one show coming out that's a prequel, and that's Loki.
Yeah.
That's the only one I'm willing to bet is a prequel.
WandaVision?
I think it's a sequel.
All right.
I could be wrong, but that's just my
I just
theory.
have no idea what that show is.
It just feels weird to bring back Vision in a show.
It's just my theory. I could be wrong.
No, yeah, I know. We all could be wrong.
Yeah. So I just have here just a lot of like comic inspired things.
Oh, sorry, real quick, because you brought up Anthony Mackie. Did all of you hear how he found out he was Captain America?
Yeah, it's the same interview.
No, how did I
It's
know?
the same
Okay,
interview.
no, he brought it up even before that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he brought it up like a week and a half ago. I forgot to mention
I'm
it.
interested.
So Anthony
I wanna
Mackie, the way he found out is he was hanging out with Chris Evans at like Chris Evans' place. And Chris Evans was like, man, are you excited? And Anthony Mackie's like, what are you talking about? And Chris Evans ran into the back of the house and grabbed the script and brought it out. And he's like, look. And he's like, read it. And Anthony Mackie read it. So Chris Evans gave him the script where he read that he was becoming
that's
Captain
cool.
America.
And they had like
They
a
had that
drunken,
moment.
amazing night together
Yeah.
that night. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
All right, so
I like that.
back to this.
Yeah.
I have a whole thing is just like comic inspired things.
Spoilers for Endgame.
Yeah, spoilers for Endgame. The Eternals has rumors. If you go back to my stupid little setup, this is what I was queuing.
Oh, I forgot we were still in news.
Yeah. So the Eternals had some rumors coming up. One specifically is
Handsome
a casting,
boy.
is a casting Richard Madden.
Handsome man.
I think the NFL guy. No, I'm kidding.
That's John Madden, but
I know.
close enough.
Richard Madden from Game of Thrones and Cinderella. He's going to supposedly
Oh
play.
yeah, Cinderella.
Yeah, he's
I forgot.
Oh, King of the North.
Supposedly, the rumor is he'll be Icarus.
That's amazing casting.
So, there are only rumors going to come up from the Eternals. But
sure.
But, that's cool.
Everybody's just assuming Angelina Jolie's cast, so
Yeah.
might as well assume this.
This
too.
is going to be a Matt Smith situation in like a year. The movie's coming out, and Angelina Jolie's she's at the premiere. She's like, "Oh, I'm not in the movie."
I'm just here to mess with you.
I don't know how that started, but I'm not in this movie.
That's great.
I was just invited to come, so I was like,
You just let that sit out there for a year.
I know. If he is in the movie, this is a super weird, interesting cast. And it's I really like that guy, and I'd like for him to do more things. So that's cool.
So it looks like, if this movie is in fact the second Marvel film to come out next year, as we are speculating, then this movie would have to be filming soon.
Yeah,
and
August.
Therefore, this casting news would be leaking out.
And regardless,
appropriately,
a movie has to be filming for that time slot soon. It seems very likely it's Eternals because we're not hearing about casting for anything else.
Right, exactly.
So
yeah. So that's cool. If true, it's cool.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange 2 has some rumors as well. And now, normally there's no casting things, but I did think this was interesting. Normally, I wouldn't really say anything about this. However, this account that it came from accurately quote-unquote spoiled the end of Endgame.
Okay.
So it's a reliable source for the most part. But he's saying that Brother Voodoo and Clea are going to be part of the story for the next Doctor Strange film.
Brother Voodoo's
Now,
so cool.
Brother Voodoo.
Yeah.
Brother Voodoo.
He's cool.
I didn't realize his brother was in the first Doctor Strange. He's the guy who was killed in the New York Sanctum.
Oh,
okay.
Interestingly enough,
Interesting. Okay.
Never named, but apparently, like in the
a
credits,
fun little thing.
Yeah, it's a fun little nod
right.
to Brother Voodoo.
Brother Voodoo becomes the Sorcerer Supreme in the comics a little bit as well in Bendis' Avengers.
So if true, that'd be cool.
That's cool.
Wait, I don't think I actually want to talk about this.
Is it Guardian stuff?
Yeah, it's the Guardians thing.
I don't think
I just brought it up, so I'm not going to edit this out.
If we're talking about Doctor Strange, might as well talk about. I think this is awesome.
I don't
But it's
know
not
what
true.
this is.
We don't know that.
We do know that. He said it's not true.
Oh, sorry, Michael Rooker. I thought you meant the plot stuff.
No, I don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. I meant
I'm sorry.
Suicide Squad.
So, okay.
I was so confused. You guys were saying Guardians, and I'm like, what Guardians?
The
news?
Marvel
You know what?
stuff.
So did I. I was
okay,
like, what's going
a
on?
rumor came out that Michael Rooker might be playing King Shark.
Yes,
That's
in
what we're
Suicide Squad.
talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
in
we
Suicide
are now
Squad.
on the same page.
Which would have
That
been
rumor-
awesome.
That
Yeah.
rumor has been debunked.
Yes.
Michael Rooker himself said he's not doing the movie yet.
That's a bummer.
That I'm going to add the caveat of yet. I don't think he'll be King Shark, but he could be in the movie.
I'm almost certain he'll show up.
Yeah, it's like a cameo or something, if anything. But like, he's been in every single James Gunn movie. There's no way he's not going to be in this movie.
Yeah, so
In some capacity.
He said that this wasn't happening, so he said this is not true. I am not casting this movie.
I still like the
Quote.
idea of Idris Elba being King Shark. So
Yeah, supposedly he'll be Deathstroke now,
yeah.
which
No, that's Joe Manganiello.
No.
There's a recent rumor saying that they're going to make
I
him
hope that's
Deathstroke.
not true too.
Poor Joe.
I know, right?
He was so happy to be Deathstroke.
They won't let
too.
him do anything.
Brandon, the thing I was mentioning was there was a
Yes.
Thor plot leak, and I thought that's where you were leaning towards. So like,
Oh,
we don't
okay.
have to talk about it, but it involves like what the villain might be and stuff like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll wait to see. All right, so Batwoman was ordered to series.
Woo.
Unsurprising, but still cool. We don't know how long the series is going to be, but CW recently picked up a couple of things, and that one being the other one. That
I
one
hope
being
it's
one of them.
13 episodes.
I hope it's good.
Yes.
Me too. The other shows that they picked up are Katie Keene, the spinoff of Riverdale, and Nancy Drew. So
Whatever.
interesting.
Riverdale's getting a spinoff already.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting.
Well, Sabrina.
Sabrina's not a spinoff.
Sabrina's not. That's her
Yeah.
own thing.
Okay, well, I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought this was interesting. I don't know if you actually saw this, but Lost Boys was being turned into a TV series on the CW
Yeah, I
by
saw that.
Rob Thomas. It did not get picked up.
Matchbox 20, Rob Thomas?
The writer of iZombie.
Oh, okay.
It did not get picked up, but CW is still interested in it, so they're going to retool and reshoot the pilot and see if they can pick it up for the next time. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I like Lost Boys, so I'm okay with that.
I
I like Lost Boys. I don't know if I need another vampire show on the CW.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I wasn't going to mention this, but I really want to, so I'm sorry.
You don't like Lost Boys?
No. There was another show that the CW passed on, and I'm shocked. And I just wanted to bring it up because I'm just baffled that they passed it.
Is it another Teen Angst television show?
So they passed on a show called Glamorous. Now, Glamorous is quote a drama pilot about a gender nonconforming high school grad who gets his dream job, the show starring potential breakout Ben J. Pierce. It was done by Marlon Wayans Jr. Like, I'm shocked. That is the CW.
Yeah.
Like, in
maybe
bold,
it was just bad
underlined letters. That's the CW.
I mean, I don't. No offense to the Wayneses, but they're not like most of their track records aren't great.
Yeah, I was shocked to see that one didn't get picked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just actually really bad.
It probably is just really bad.
Having all the teen demographics
I
isn't
mean,
enough.
if the CW looked at it and went, nope, no, there's no way we can work that.
That's some like Holmes and Watson level bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not even Netflix would touch it.
Yeah.
No thanks. All right, moving on.
Moving on to these.
Some more DC Showcase.
Those CW shows are wrapping up, and half of them are real good, and half of them are yikes.
Yeah, as you.
Sounds like a CW season.
Yeah. So the DC Showcase is a series of animated shorts that came out with their DC animated films for a while. Things like The Spectre. Catwoman had one. They were really good. I liked them a lot. I especially like The Spectre. They stopped making them after a while. However, they are returning.
Okay.
DC Showcase is returning in 2019, this year, in 2020. They will again be included in animated film releases. They apparently will open with a new live-action branding sequence that features, quote, a few Easter eggs specifically added for observant fans.
Live action.
Yeah, little like I'm thinking it's like little like bookends of like someone reading a comic book or something. I don't know.
What the hell?
Not like Batman and Wonder Woman.
No, I don't think it's anything like that.
Not like the MCU.
No, but there are 5 shorts, and I was thought it'd be interesting to see what these are. So Sergeant Rock is getting a short.
Okay.
By Bruce Timm.
Okay.
Real good. I like that a lot already. Written by Louis Simonson and Walter Simonson.
Okay.
Louis Simonson and Walter Simonson
That's
and Tim
awesome.
Sheridan.
That's a hell of a team.
With Carl Urban as the voice of Sergeant Rock.
This is awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
This is like Marvel had their Hulu stuff, and now like DC's got their. This is great.
Yeah, these are short films, by the way.
This is still
These are
sweet.
short.
That's totally fine. I'm okay with that.
The story is the original tale finds battle-weary Sergeant Rock thinking he has seen everything that World War II can dish out, but he is in for the surprise of his life when he is assigned to lead a company consisting of legendary monsters into battle against an unstoppable platoon of Nazi zombies.
That sounds awesome.
Bruce Timm's art, Carl Urban voicing this story? Hell yeah, I'm
Yeah.
in. That sounds great.
Yeah.
I'm totally into this. Adam Strange,
Yes.
produced and directed by Butch Lukic, who did Batman Unlimited, the TV series.
Okay.
Written by J.M. DeMantis. Charlie Weber, who's from How to Get Away with Murder, will be the voice of Adam Strange.
Okay.
On a rugged asteroid mining colony, few of the toiling workers are aware that their own drunk was ever anything but an interplanetary derelict. But when the miners open a fissure into the home of a horde of deadly alien insects, his true identity is exposed. He is space adventurer Adam Strange, whose heroic backstory is played out in flashbacks as he struggles to save the very people who have scorned him for so long. That kind of sounds cool.
I'm gonna watch both of these.
Yeah, I'm into that. Death, as in Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Oh,
Death.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Produced and directed by Sam Liu. That kind of gives me pause. I don't much care for him.
He's like the newer.
He's kind of the new Bruce Timm. He's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
directing most of the animated films.
Yeah.
He's got some good ones like The Dark Knight Returns, but he's also got some bad ones.
Yes.
So, also written by James DeMantis.
Mm-hmm.
Leonard Nam from Westworld will voice a character called Vincent, and Jamie Chung from The Gifted and Big Hero 6 will voice Death.
Oh, okay.
In the story, Vincent, an artist with unresolved inner demons, meets a mysterious girl who helps him come to terms with his his creative legacy and eventually death. Interesting.
I really like that they're leaning into Sandman.
Yeah,
That's good.
That's cool. The Phantom Stranger is also getting a short film. Executive produced by Bruce Timm, once again. Written by Ernie Altbacker, who wrote Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
Yeah.
Peter Serafinowicz
The Tick.
from The Tick,
Yeah.
and we know him from Guardians of the Galaxy as well, will voice the Phantom Stranger. And Michael Rosenbaum, who was Lex Luthor on Smallville, will voice Seth, a character named Seth.
Ooh, Seth. My
Was
favorite
also
DC character.
Also, he was the voice of Flash on Justice League.
Yeah, baby.
Set in the 1970s, the short follows young adult Jess as she joins her friends at a party in a dilapidated mansion hosted by the mysterious Seth. When odd things begin to happen to Jess and her friends, the Phantom Stranger intervenes to save her from a dreary fate.
Ooh. These all sound different and cool.
Yeah, these all sound really cool. The last one we have no information on.
Oh, cool. I love it.
However, it's Batman Death of the Family.
Death of the Family.
Death in the Family.
Oh, in the Family.
In the Family.
Oh, in the Family.
Yeah.
It's not Scott Snyder's. It's the
dang it.
original.
Okay. Oh, well, Death in the Family, that's so good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess Death in the Family.
Death in the Family is the original run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Now, no information has been released on this one except for this quote. Quote will include, they're calling it a innovative Batman Death in the Family long-form animated short, which will anchor a compilation set for distribution in late 2020.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm thinking like Superman Shazam. Superman Shazam was one of those shorts, but it was too long, so they couldn't put it in with a DVD. They had to put it out as a DVD.
Yeah.
So it exists as its own movie, but it's not. It was meant to be a short. It's only like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think they're looking at that. It'll be a couple 5-minute shorts that will connect to be a 30-minute, 40-minute kind of thing,
Oh,
and then
okay.
they'll put that out with the shorts on DVD, on their own DVD.
Okay.
That's if I had to assume that would be that.
Okay.
That sounds okay to me. All those sound cool.
Yeah, they all sound really cool.
Yeah.
I'm interested in a lot of those. Especially knowing that they'll probably put out a compilation, so I don't need to watch all the other
Big
films.
old, yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's cool. Then the last thing about comics specifically comes from Marvel.
I like those guys.
Marvel Comics 1000 was announced this week.
Was it actually announced as 1,000?
Yes.
That's stupid. I hate this.
Well, it lines up if you. So Marvel Comics Marvel Comics published a book called Marvel Comics.
Yes.
And that comic ended at 159. And that if you track, it's conceivable. Like a lot of people are kind of like, I think there's some funny math, but it's conceivable that this year would see its 1000th issue if it kept going.
It's just funny to me that, like, they could have just called it the 80th anniversary.
Yeah.
1,000 is a little special to DC right now.
Mhm.
They are totally aping off of that.
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, I just think it's silly that they're calling it 1,000.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's
There's not a
silly.
real reason to call it 1,000.
And for me to be just that nitpicky, like for Action Detective 1000, those books
They
have,
earned that, actually.
Well, yeah, they have been going on.
Yeah.
Because I know back in the old days, you had Fawcett Comics, All Star Comics, Star Comics, all these different names like
Journey
Action
into Mystery.
Action Comics. That's where Superman started, obviously. But those, where Green Lantern first came out, what was it? All Star Comics or was that Flash?
I think All Star Comics was Jay Garrick. Showcase was Flash.
Yeah, but
Alan Scott, sorry.
yeah, but still, those comics don't exist anymore, and we're not getting Star Comics or All Star Comics 1000.
No, but this isn't
So I kind of
surprising.
I kind of see that Marvel doing like a cheap shot to DC.
No, it isn't
like,
surprising. I'm just disappointed by it.
I mean, yeah, it's not. I think there is a. I'm not going to say that. I agree, Brian. I'm just real quickly, just because what I'm about to say is going to sound like I don't, but I
Yeah.
do agree. But there is a way to say that when DC did their 1 millionth issue thing, they tracked when it would be that the 1 millionth issue had come out, and so they put out a bunch of 1 millionth issue and set in that year. It was like the 856th century or whatever the hell. So I think the idea that they're looking at is, our namesake comic is no longer being published, unlike DC's is. So what would it look like if it had been published this entire time?
Yeah.
But I do think you're absolutely correct that, hey, 1000 is popular right now. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Because if they just called it the 80th anniversary issue, like, that would have been just...
Yeah.
Because that's what it is to me.
So it is the 80th anniversary issue. It's an anthology series, 80 stories with 80 teams.
Oh, boy. This is going to be an expensive
That's going to
comic.
be a thick book. Holy
It's
crap.
1 page each.
Oh, what?
That's lame.
Every team gets 1 page to tell a story from 1 year. So the first page will be set in 1939. The last page will be set in 2019. So
I hope
it's
this
1
works
page
out.
each.
I hope this works.
Al Ewing is making sure that everything fits. He's the kind of like the showrunner to it. He did a similar thing with like a choose your own adventure Deadpool story. So he's kind of helping them script this and make sure it all fits. And it's supposed to be, and like 1 page issues aren't, like people do 1 page stories all the time. Like it's not hard. But it will be interesting to see how they all tie in, if they all connect and things like that.
80. That's a lot of pages.
Supposedly, it's going to be. So Al Ewing is also shaping it, but he's also going to be the writer for the books that don't have writers. So, like for the pages that don't have writers. So if it's like Mike Deodato Jr. is one of the people. He's not writing; he's just drawing. So Al Ewing will write that script and so on and so forth.
There's a lot of teams.
Yeah. So, for example, Donny Cates and Jeph Shaw doing a page. Al Ewing is doing a page with his Immortal Hulk.
A lot of old
artist.
school creators coming back. Like
inevitably, like there'll be cool pages, but
there can't be real substance there. Like really, right?
I mean, there could be.
I guess.
I mean, hey, one page. Like I said, one-page comics are a thing. People do them all the time.
I know
There's
short
plenty-
stories. No, I get
They
it.
are, but
plenty of
for-
substance in
for
those.
characters like Marvel, Marvel has, especially since it's an 80 year.
The Alex Ross cover looks really good, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. This idea isn't Johnson for me. Like if you like for a Detective and an Action 1000, where it said, "Hey, we have a few big time writers for this character. They're gonna write a short story, 3 or 4 or 5 pages maybe, but they're all gonna be in Action 1000." That's fine. That worked. That was a celebration of those issues and of that character. Whereas this one's like, let's just get something out quick, fast.
It's something where
I
you
don't
know
think
you're gonna.
that's
It's
the case.
something where you know you're gonna go through and you're gonna be like, I'm definitely gonna find some gems,
A
but
few
I'm also
gems.
gonna find some stinkers.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
People like I don't think it was something they put out because this is not something you put out on the cheap
Well,
fast. You
obvious-
can't.
And they also
Obviously, but-
have like Eric Larson, who like does not like writing for Marvel at all, and he's like he does Savage Dragon. He's super indie, hates big time
Yeah.
too, and even he came back. He's like, yeah, it's the 80th anniversary. They paid me money.
Tom Taylor is doing a page. Al Ewing, as I said, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller and Javier Rodriguez. They're collaborating on a page.
I'm
But see,
sure
it's only-
there's. I'm
that's
sure
like a-
there's a
but-
large,
yeah.
large list of talented people.
But they're only getting a page.
Jeff Lemire. I want to talk about the creative list real quick because there's some people that I wanted to touch on in here. So Jeff Lemire, I'm very excited. I like Jeff Lemire. Brad Meltzer coming back to do Marvel Comics and God knows how long.
One page.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Yep.
first
What?
ever Marvel comic.
He loves comics.
He's a comic book writer now.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, he writes a Mycroft Holmes series for like Dynamite or something.
Kareem
Or-
Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, yeah,
The championship-winning All-Star Laker.
yeah. He's
Yeah.
He's a comic book writer now.
Yeah, dude, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he's really an interesting dude. Taboo from Black Eyed Peas,
Yeah.
who's a self-proclaimed Marvel fan.
Okay.
Um,
Is Eminem writing something?
No.
You know what? I would not be surprised. Matthew Rosenberg, a couple of others. Let's see, Charles Soule,
Yep.
Steve McNiven. I like that. I like that team a lot.
No Bendis, huh?
Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. I don't think Bendis would come back since he's exclusive with DC now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a contract, baby.
yeah.
That is a contract.
Jeff Loeb and Tim
But-
Sale though, first collaboration since Captain America White.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Let's see, Al Ewing, Steve Epting, Al Ewing, Christian Ward, Eric Larson, as you said. Yeah, so there's a lot. Mike Theodore Jr., Jason
I just
Latour.
imagine it's going to be a lot of like anniversary pages of like the Jeff Loeb Tim Sale is going to be like a great looking Captain America, just like he was the best among us, and just like a 1-page Captain America
Patrick
thing.
Gleason.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
But like,
But I don't think
if
that's
this
what
is
it
going to be a
is.
self-contained story that has 80 different looking pages,
No, I think it's 80 self-contained pages.
that's
I think it's 80 self.
that's
I don't
exactly
I
it.
don't want
It's
that.
for each year.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Is
I don't
like
want
it's
that.
Each,
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's going to be
either.
I don't think it's going to be a splash page gallery. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be panel layouts, and I don't think they'd do all this effort. And again,
Oh, yeah.
it's a lot of effort to
No,
do
yeah,
something like
I'm
this.
not saying that. No.
I don't think they would go through all that effort to just do splash page, splash page, splash page, splash page.
No, I know.
Like, I liked Detective Comics 1000 for the most part, but I was disappointed that the Gleason and Tomasi book was
Look,
just splash pages.
You know what it is? It's that, yeah, this is a lot of great talent and everything, but they're still being condensed to having to form a narrative on a single page. This isn't something that every single person on this volunteered with an idea already in their head. They're having to come up with something.
Yeah.
So that doesn't mean that everything that these talented people have created before, that doesn't mean that this page that they create is going to be good.
No, it's true.
It just doesn't.
But it's also, just to play devil's advocate, because again, I don't disagree with you guys.
Yeah.
I know I'm being defensive.
No,
but
I
I'm
know,
not.
I know.
don't mean to be.
I know.
But just to play devil's advocate, it could also be a way to do something really creatively interesting, a challenge almost.
Again, there will definitely be good ones.
Look at
there
the,
are just more likely to
um,
be more ones where you just kind of either read them and they're not great, or you go, yeah.
Okay, so like Detective Comics and Action Comics had like 4 or 5 stories, right? But they had like a dozen covers. Well, like I only like 3 of those covers, right? So if there's 80 stories, if I don't like 50 of them, that's a huge waste of a like $20 book possibly.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't like the fundamental idea that they're going for. That's
Yeah.
and like it is cool to see all these people come back, but if I want them to come back, I want them to come back for more than 5 panels.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
So editor Tom Brevoort said, "This is by far the most complex and complicated and difficult book I've ever had to assemble."
I hope.
And C.B. Sobolski, "Our characters are mentioned in so many different ways and in so many different mediums, and we always keep track. Now these distinguished individuals are able to contribute back to the comics they grew up on." Basically referring to the fact that Phil Lord and Chris Miller are, doing a page.
Yeah, that's cool.
So that's interesting. Hey, look, you know what? If it works out, it could be really good.
When it comes out, I'll probably flip through it, and if it's nice, and if I like what I see, then I'll probably pick it up.
It's gonna be hella expensive.
But that's the thing.
But I think it's 8 pages. How big was Detective in 1000?
80
Those
pages.
80
pages.
Yeah, so it's going to be probably
10.
$7, $8.
10.
Marvel
It'll
will
be
make more.
$9.99. It'll be $9.99.
No.
The thing is, it kind of looks like Avengers, like the first Avengers movie. Either that movie succeeded and it's great, or it failed.
Yeah.
Like, this is a lot like the same thing. Like, as Ryan was saying, if you don't like 50 stories in that, it's a failure. Either this book succeeds or it fails. There's no in between. There can't be with this sort of thing.
And like DC is not as bad, but Marvel loves putting out these really expensive books.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Like
do.
every new number one is like double size, $8.99 for no reason. And I was like, this warrants, its 80th anniversary, sure, but I'm like, sure, Eric Larson coming back to write 5 panels in an 80-page book. That's pretty cool. That dude doesn't like Marvel Comics, so like, what can he really give me?
What if it's a scathing look at that?
Yeah, I'm just like,
Right, yeah,
be.
there's
it's
whatever.
it's super. It's just a very interesting take.
And the other thing is,
and I hope it works.
I hope it works too. To be honest,
Yeah.
But they also like, what is there to tell for each year?
That's what I
Like,
mean.
every decade, every era has something to tell, has a distinctive art.
But not every year does.
And that's what the variants were for Detective in Action.
Yeah.
They were eras, and they all each had a distinct look. This one, how do you distinctively make each year look different?
Not to mention, like, there's definitely going to be a case of you're going to be seeing a lot of characters a lot, and then maybe some characters not at all, because they're not having all these people come in and then saying, you have to do this character, though. So, like, what are the odds that Jessica Jones gets represented?
Well, she won't be represented until she's created in the early 2000s. So she's only going to be at the end of the book.
See,
Well,
but
actually,
like,
you know what? 2000s, you could do a Jessica Jones story,
but
because
you,
that's reminiscent of Marvel
But you get my
Knights.
point, like, and go smaller than Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is actually more well known these days, but like, go smaller than that. A lot of these characters are. What are the odds we see Moon Knight in this?
Or Kamala Khan, who was introduced like 5 years ago. She
Yeah.
will not be in that book unless it's page 75.
What's going to happen? What's going to happen between from when Captain America was created up until, say, Spider-Man?
Actually,
How many of these people are coming in and going, I want to do a Captain America story, or I want to do a Spider-Man story?
Or they're going to get stuck with like a C-list character that they want.
Actually, truthfully, I think the more interesting stuff will be in the last 25 pages, because those are the ones that saw the most change from Marvel. They
Yeah.
saw the most new characters, the most
Sure, that's
interesting
true, and that's
ideals.
25 out of 80
Yeah.
that I might really enjoy, and then a lot of ones I might not. And that's why this is kind of... Anyway, I'd like to move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so hopefully it
I
works.
love you, Marvel.
Hopefully it works, but won't be surprised if it doesn't.
Yeah.
All right, so some trailers.
Ooh.
Final Fantasy VII had a teaser
A re-release.
Sorry, I was behind.
A re-release.
teaser re-release
Yeah.
That was the
for
Gasp
its remake. Yeah. It's coming out in 15 years.
No. Okay, so real quick, the history behind this. So this game was being made outside of Sony.
Yeah.
And then Sony did not like the way it was going, so they brought it internally. So they started to remake the remake. So that's why it's been in development for so long. This is the reintroduction of like, hey, this is what our game looks like. So it is going to probably be a couple years, but it's not going to be 15 years, because the guy who's making it did Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, it'll certainly be that long then.
And both those games that took a long time are both out, so he can focus on this. So it's
Yeah.
going to be a couple years, but now that it's focused and it looks great.
So how long did it take Final Fantasy 15 to come out?
10 years.
Okay, let's take Final Fantasy 15 took 10 years. Kingdom Hearts 3 took
10 years?
10
No,
years. So that's
Kingdom Hearts 3 took 7 years. It was 7 years when they started developing. So, because when people say we've been waiting 13 years, that's a lie.
That's since the last game came out.
That's since
Yes.
the main number.
With 7
Yeah.
years, that
Since it was
Nomura
announced.
had to be like, all right, I gotta leave Final Fantasy 15 because I have to make Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's combine the two.
All right, I gotta leave Final Fantasy 7 remake because I gotta make Kingdom Hearts 4.
Well, even Final
All
Fantasy
right,
15 was.
let's throw the 2 years let's throw the two gaps together. 17 years till we see Final Fantasy 7. No, I'm kidding.
Realistically, probably 3.
Yeah,
Real-
Yeah, realistically,
Yeah.
this is a PS5 game.
absolutely.
It's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
They've announced it's coming out on the PS4.
That's ridiculous.
No, here's the thing. No,
the
guys,
PS4
because
comes
they-
out in the PS5 comes out in 3 years.
No, here's the thing. Because okay, so would you rather sell a huge budget game to the new console that nobody's bought, or the install base of 100 million consoles on the PS4?
No, for sure. But I mean, like,
It's gonna be a cross-platform
my
game.
point being that it's going to come out on the PS5.
Yes, but it's not going to be exclusively PS5.
No, I'm not saying it will be exclusively PS5. I'm saying that's how long this is going to take.
Oh, absolutely. Many games on the 360, the Xbox or the Xbox 360 came out the same, and PS2 and PS3. There were a lot of those type of games.
Same with
it happens every generation.
Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
no,
I know.
That's all he was saying.
No, I know. Yeah.
So, as what I think one of the biggest fans of Final Fantasy, I have to admit, I freaking love this trailer.
It's really good looking.
I really like the combat system from 15, and I like how they're implementing this in the 7 remake, and also I like how you can switch characters. Because one of the things that kind of bugged me a lot about 15 was that you can't switch characters, as in you're only fighting as Noctis throughout the whole game. This one, you see Cloud swing his Buster Sword. You can see Barrett shooting his gun arm. Possibly co-op multiplayer. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
But it's a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know. The game looks freaking gorgeous, and I can't wait to see what's more. I'm hoping that what they're talking about because they said more to come in June, so I'm assuming sometime around E3 or maybe around E3.
There's a
E3.
Final Fantasy orchestra around the same time.
So they're
maybe.
probably going to announce some stuff there.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing they're probably going to give us release dates, so it's either going to be at sometime next year, probably.
At least the first episode, because they've confirmed it is going to be
It's still,
episodic.
it still bugs me, but if they're going to hold it
Then
up,
if it's not episodic, that game isn't coming out for 17 years.
yeah, I know.
You have to make it episodic.
Yeah, I know.
It has to come out.
I know.
So that'd be interesting to see when we ever see
It's
more
just
of that one.
it's cool, like a Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, hey, here's the new trailer. It is happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken a while, we know.
Because we haven't seen anything for Final Fantasy VII Remake ever since that first trailer dropped at E3.
Yeah, like
3 years ago.
yeah.
And even I've been
And
wondering,
then they scrapped that game.
yeah, and I've been wondering, it's like, where the hell is Final Fantasy VII? Where is it?
It's in the grinder.
It's already been made. Came out a couple.
Well, nobody
But
was
22 years ago.
surprised it was taking a while because Nomura
was working on everything else.
He was. Holy crap.
Yeah.
But I'm excited. I can't wait. Oh, my
He
God.
always is.
It's pretty. Please be good.
Yeah.
So the other thing is that a Legion trailer came out. Legion season 3 is the last season. 3 of us didn't see it.
I've watched up to the last 3 episodes.
Sparks,
season 2.
you have seen it. You liked it.
I really like that show. I watched that trailer. That trailer is really exciting. I don't it's not super spoilery, but I think you're not going to get much out of it and only kind of confuse yourself if you don't watch season 2.
Sure. So only thing we'll say about that is it comes out June 24th.
Heck yeah.
Season 3.
Super stoked.
Yeah. All right. I Am Mother. Dropped this week. It was a new trailer for a new Netflix sci-fi movie coming out June 7th. So what do we think about this one?
I'm super into it.
Yeah, it's right up my alley.
So this
Robots raising babies.
This is a robot with the voice of Rose Byrne raising a child.
And I really like Hilary Swank. She's been doing good stuff lately.
Yeah, I haven't seen her lately. I've actually just wondering where she's been.
She did the I forget the name of the show off the top of my head, but the one that I've been talking about with Brendan Fraser in it, where they did the
Trust.
Yes, Trust.
Oh yeah,
She was the mom.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
so it was good.
Yes, she was really good.
Cool. So so this will be her next thing. This is a Netflix movie. By a first-time writer and director.
Awesome.
So
She looks like Gladys.
She does the
robot. The robot looks like Gladys.
10 Cloverfield Lane paradox. 10
it's 10 Cloverfield Lane with robot.
Yeah.
Future.
And I inherently think this looks interesting, but I've been burned before with Netflix sci-fi offerings.
I really like the way that the trailer uses. At a certain point, you're hearing like mothers say this one thing, then Hilary Swank's character saying another.
Yeah,
and like
I
the if that is the movie, is them kind of playing these both angles and her having to genuinely just suss out like what's real. I'm into it.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
I'm hopeful it's good. I'm hopeful it's good.
Same.
All right, so Watchmen. This is the long-awaited new adaptation / sequel for the Watchmen. Not that.
He said TikTok.
For the Watchmen comic by David Lindelof. So what do we think about this guy?
This is more in line of what I wanted a sequel to be.
Yeah.
I mean, Doomsday Clock is inherently a DC comic.
I mean, how can you judge it until it's over?
Yeah.
Doomsday Clock.
Oh, yeah. Nothing's really ever over.
Doomsday Clock will never be over.
How can we judge that story till we see what the conclusion is?
Yeah, you're right. But like, this,
no, I get you.
This looks to me
4 months since. 4 months.
No, yeah. Oh, they just announced that Doomsday Clock and Heroes of Crisis are coming out the same day. The final one.
Wait, it can't be the final Doomsday Clock.
Or the next issue or something. But they made a big deal out of it. Anyway, I'm not sure what this is about. This is a teaser, but visually, it's everything that I want in my life.
It
It looks so sad.
Visually, it feels very Watchmen.
There is a Rorschach cult.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a cult formed out of his journal.
So it makes
It's
me
awesome.
believe that the journal wasn't it was discovered, but it wasn't like brought to life until much later. And then these guys somehow found it, and they're like, oh, this entire world's a lie, and Rorschach was right.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was
oh my
talking
god, the
about-
world's coming to the end again.
I was talking about with you guys how it's interesting that both Doomsday Clock and this new series look like they're kind of branching out, making different types of sequels. And I kind of like seeing the two different interpretations of where the story could have gone.
Yeah.
For example, like in Doomsday Clock, the journal was found immediately and published, and it just ruined everything.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it looks like the journal wasn't seen until much later.
So
Yeah.
I think what's crazy awesome about this is that the imagery of the people who are in the Rorschach cult are very much like the people who we don't like, the imagery of them is the people
It's
we don't
it's
like
almost
in our day
clanny,
to day.
like Ku
Yeah,
Klux
it's very
Klan-y.
clanny
Yeah.
and everything. Yet Rorschach is the person who you're kind of sided
He's
with.
like kind of the hero.
And you agree with him. So these are the guys who are following the word of the person who we were on the same page with, but the imagery is like the reverse
Yeah.
of what we normally side with.
And the cops who are the good guys are wearing
the
masks
imagery
and
is the
stuff.
reverse of the people that Rorschach fights against.
Yeah.
So it's nuts.
It's a mass. It looks like mass
The police-
society. Also,
That's super
interesting.
This is going to be a super political That's why I love that it's on HBO, because the last show this guy did, The Leftovers, was very real, super real politics, real emotions. The stuff that you guys want in Endgame, that's the shit that The Leftovers dealt with in spades.
More than a single podcast reviewer has said that Endgame is a pale imitation of The Leftovers. as far
Leftovers
as
is the
grief.
saddest thing you will ever watch. It's incredible. And it's the same guy, so it reminds me a lot of that. And the last line where Don Johnson's like, it's the end of the world, tick-tock. And I'm like, that's so ominous. Because that's everyone now knows that the world was a lie. And Ozymandias is just like,
I like seeing
shit.
Jeremy Irons
Just meditating.
as
Yeah.
this. The first image we got of him was very ambiguous as to who he could be, and this image was clearly Ozymandias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, and this looks better than I could have imagined. And just new heroes, and or new masks, and all of their costumes look super unique. There's a guy with the holographic mask that reflects things.
Yeah.
like a reflective mask.
Reflective mask, yeah. It's really cool.
I'm
Really
into
cool.
this.
I'm kind of digging the bright yellows. Everything else is great, but I'm digging the bright yellows of
Yeah.
the police and even their headlights were bright yellow. I was like, oh man, this
And-
looks good.
Watchmen is obviously alternate history, so I'm really excited to see what our alternate future is.
Yeah,
That's some
especially
cool shit.
because Watchmen.
Well, really, our alternate present.
Sorry, alternate present.
Yeah,
yes.
Watchmen was Watchmen was interesting because it was if superheroes existed, how would that change the world? More so than anything.
Yeah.
And so, seeing how the alternate reality looked, it was kind of still mirrored what we know, just slight differences.
Yeah.
Nixon was still president, for
Yeah.
example. But now this has the springboard of a giant squid killed millions of people.
Yeah.
So where did that go?
No, Manhattan blew up in the city.
Oh,
And
boy.
he didn't just blow up New York; he blew up the entire world.
Yeah.
Zack Snyder made a shitty movie. I'll never.
No, I'm going to disagree with you. There.
I would
I'll
disagree with
never.
that.
I'll never get off that hill.
I like
I
that
think
movie.
the Watchmen movie is terrible.
Anyway,
fine.
this show looks good.
It does look good. It looks
I really
great.
I really do like that twist on what we normally expect to see, and it's what we're against
Yeah.
is kind of what we're for.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And you know what? Actually, I'm glad that the Watchmen movie came up because, as I've said before, not to criticize the movie any more than I have, but the problem I have with the film is that there's an inherent issue with Zack Snyder's reverence for superheroes and Alan Moore's disdain almost for them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the major problem with the film. Damon Lindelof doesn't have any reverence for these characters, nor does he have disdain. But he's able to kind of tap into that Alan Moore-ness and really... I don't feel there will be a conflict of themes that he's trying to portray coming into this.
It's a clear vision.
Into this thing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to help this adaptation a lot.
Yeah. I'm very into it.
All right. So, It Chapter 2 released a trailer this week, and I like this trailer a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So we see Beverly returning to her childhood home, talking to an old lady who turns out to be probably Pennywise.
Or just a zombie.
Well, see, that's the thing. So what I liked about the first film and what I like about this trailer specifically...
It's just something Pennywise created. Just like the little boy from the books that she was flipping through in the
Oh,
first,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that the guy was flipping through,
It's
and
like an
the little
illusion.
boy.
Yeah.
You remember, like, and then the boy without a head
Oh yeah.
comes down the stairs. Like
Yeah.
Pennywise just makes those things.
Oh yeah.
So
What-
she's just another thing he makes.
What I really like about this trailer is what I really liked about the first film. There's a sense of uneasiness of Pennywise's presence in Derry.
Yeah.
The idea that Pennywise can be anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Right.
And I like that he's
He's
no
more than just a clown.
Yeah, there's a sense in a lot of horror movies that there's a moment when characters are safe, when there's an exposition dump or something, but there is never a moment where these characters are safe, and it really puts you on edge, this whole film, and this trailer felt the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the scene.
Yeah, me too.
The fact that it's able to be so effective, partially because you have no outside context,
Mm-hmm.
is what puts you so at like on edge because you have no idea what you're going into.
Yeah.
Helps a lot. I'm not crazy. I like all the images.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy about the way the rest of the trailer is edited. It feels very action movie rather than horror movie to me.
Yeah, like
The
it's time to go to
music and
action.
everything.
Yeah.
I wasn't for that. I was like, this messed with the vibe I got from the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That didn't stand out to me as much the first time because I was just so caught up in looking at all the images. But the
Mm-hmm.
second time we watched it, I was like, oh, I don't like the way they cut this.
Yeah.
That feels too triumphant. It felt very Avengers. The action music that swells
Like
up and everything.
here comes the losers.
Yeah,
to
and I'm
fight
like,
Pennywise.
keep me in that horror zone. I was unnerved, and you
Yeah.
kind of ruined it.
That H zone.
But I do like all the imagery I'm seeing.
I do like the cast a lot
It's
together.
a hell of a cast.
I think that cast looks incredible.
Bill Hader in particular, I'm excited to see in this.
Yeah.
Isaiah Mustafa.
I know what happens with his character, so I'm excited to see what happens with this.
Yeah, as someone who knows what happens to all these characters.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
There's a sense in the trailer that obviously I don't know the books that well. I don't know the source material that well. There's a sense in the books that there could be some revisionist history with the character, or it could just be an illusion.
Okay, I saw you talked about that
Yeah,
with Matt. That I'm telling you right now, they're not doing revisionist and
He is
making
straight up
him
a demon
like somebody
from
who
the,
lived in
from the
Derry.
void of
That's not going
madness.
to be the thing.
He is a Cthulhu beast.
He's just messing with them.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he is. They're gonna lean into he is an other thing.
There was a theory that I read again from people who don't read the books.
Sure.
And that I kind of really like. I wanted to run it by you guys to see if this is the thing or if it's completely off the mark. The idea that there was a Pennywise the Clown circus that he possessed and co-opted and created this demonic presence around this creature from the other world.
Oh, okay. So wait.
So there was a
He's
clown.
repurposing the Pennywise.
There was a Pennywise circus that was in the 1800s.
And then
that
the
he
demon-
created.
I know
No.
something. I can't say.
This is a
I know
spoiler
some
thing.
things about the book, and I don't want to say because I don't want to paint what you might get out of the movie. So
Okay.
Uh,
So it's not
He's not a
all I'll
person.
say is that even in the books, there was a Pennywise circus.
okay. That's all I really needed to hear. But I'm still interested in this now. I do want to get Ben as
At
our
least as far
resident-
as I remember from
as our
that,
resident
so.
Stephen King expert. Ben,
Hell yeah.
what do you think?
How's the translation looking?
Ken got real uncomfortable the second time we watched this trailer.
Yeah. I have because I saw this trailer on Fanny's phone when I first saw it, and
I just had to pause it like 2 minutes in. I was like, I'm done.
no, because when I first saw, it, I was like, okay, that's creepy. And
Brandon was like, "Naked old lady, I'm out."
no. But also the second time I saw it, I noticed a bunch of stuff like Beverly. She has markings on her arm, so I assume she has an abusive boyfriend or husband or something. And even when she finds the Pennywise picture on the wall with who I assume is Bill Skarsgård. Is that the actor?
It's
for Pennywise?
Alexander Skarsgård.
Alexander
isn't it?
Skarsgård.
No,
It's
It's
Bill
Bill.
Skarsgård.
It's Bill's the younger
Skarsgård.
brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Bill Skarsgård. Where I think
Alexander Skarsgård's Tarzan.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's Bill Skarsgård as without the makeup, and the little girl in the picture is bloodied. So I was
I
like,
didn't notice that.
yeah, I like some things like so. I do like how it's like there's still some creepy aspects. Pennywise is still messing with the kids.
My favorite shot of the whole trailer comes from that bit where she's looking at the picture and you see the background blurred out in the archway. You just see the old lady like peer through, kind of like a Scooby-Doo villain, but like
Yeah,
much more
it's
sinister.
a natural movement.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
creepy.
And even the gaping for the wound on her chest is like that, and even the flies on the window is like, you're dead. Because she even has that creepy line of, no one in Derry ever really stays dead long.
No one's ever really gone.
Shut up,
John Lithgow.
But I was like, this movie's gonna be creepy, and even the last shot of, I didn't really feel like it was an action movie until you said Sparks. So I'm sitting there like, I'm probably gonna almost break Fanny's hand when I see it in September.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna go and I'm not gonna.
I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna go see it, obviously, because she really wants to see it, and
we're reviewing it.
I hate that clown. I hate that damn clown.
Let me be clear. Like, I don't feel like the movie's going to be an action movie. I just feel like this trailer
I
had a tone,
and
then that music ruined that tone.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But
all right, so the final trailer we're going to talk about
Hold on
is...
a second. I want to talk about it.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it looks good.
It's it. What is it?
Is that it?
I will say there's no way it could be as bad as the TV movie ending. So, like, this movie's already going to be good. Like, it's... yeah, it's
I do
miniseries.
I do wish because they utilize it right at the end. I wish more of the trailer had utilized the music from the first film, just as part of it. I really like the shot of him catching the firefly thing, pulling it forward. That's
a good looking look.
It's a really good shot.
Good looking.
yeah,
I want to watch that first film.
it's
again.
one of those things where it's like, all right, get me a sword. I'm fighting this damn thing.
Yeah.
Boss fight. Let's do it.
All right, now moving on to the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
Na, na, na,
Spoilers
na,
for
na.
Endgame,
Yeah, probably.
I mean, we've
Spoilers
already
for
spoiled
Endgame.
it in this.
but it
Yeah.
was a different spoiler. So spoilers for.
I don't believe Mysterio for a minute.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm thinking it's a long con because people are all talking about, oh, is this how we're gonna get multiverses? Is this how they're gonna introduce the X-Men? It's like, guys, no.
There's
certainly-
always been
I
a
certainly-
multiverse.
I certainly
there
do
has
not think
always
that the
been-
multiverse idea is going to introduce the X-Men. I certainly don't think that.
So like, I've been talking to Sparks about this all week because it's like I don't know why it made me like it's Mysterio, but like. I'm just sitting back and I'm watching all these internet reactions. Oh my god, this is how we get the X-Men. This is Fantastic Four. Mysterio, is he Doctor Strange from another universe? All of these insane theories, and I'm like, do you guys know who Mysterio is? Are you kidding?
The answer is no.
The answer is no.
The answer to them is all those people
He
who
is,
say that
he's a
don't
con
read.
artist, and he's a liar, and he's a thief, and he's a jokester.
You actually bring up a good point. I'm genuinely getting a little nervous. I'm like, am I going to know every beat of this movie because I know comics?
Here's the thing. I think this is going to be a Mandarin situation, but played better for regular people. So like, it's
right,
not as
but like for us, we're going to be like,
yeah.
well, I knew.
I watched
No kidding.
I watched an interview with Tom Holland. That poor boy cannot catch a break. Where like the movie. Do you have a synopsis real quick? Actually,
No, I don't.
okay. So Spider-Man teams up with Mysterio to defeat the Elementals, this otherworldly force. So they're calling them the Elementals.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's like, yeah, I got punched by Hydro Man and all this stuff happened.
In his defense, like they've had Hydro Man and Molten Man and other things. Those have been out there for a couple weeks now in merchandising and everything.
But literally 5 seconds later, Jake Gyllenhaal corrects him and saying, well, the Elementals, the things that we fight in the movie, they're this and this and this.
Yeah.
Trying to
Sure.
stop him from spoiling
I did
something.
watch that same interview, so
it's
the
not
thing
because-
said
well,
Hydro
because
Man.
out there.
I think the spoiler is that Sandman is the other one.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely.
See,
I
that's
think
the
they're
thing.
all working together.
The
It's this huge con.
I do too. The Elementals. Now, for
They are not the same characters.
For Casey casuals, the Elementals that we will be seeing in Far From Home are not the Elementals from the comics. What we are seeing in Far From Home and what they have said in set photos and everything is that they use C-list villains with the same power sets that the Elementals have to recreate the idea of the Elementals.
Right.
I think
So
they're going to be
like,
called the Elementals, but they're not them.
It's a
trick.
blend. It's a blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this goes back to like, yes, if they're real people and it is a con and everything, they still have some ability to do these things.
Oh yeah, they're superpowered. Yeah.
And that's where I think the multiverse stuff comes in.
Yeah.
Not that Mysterio's from it,
Yeah.
but something or someone else has to be, because I just don't believe that Fury would go, yeah, that checks out, without any kind of multiverse something.
And that's what
going
I'm
on.
waiting for.
Also, when even in the trailer, when Fury said the snap tore open a hole in our eye, I'm sitting there, no, it didn't. It just killed half of everything.
I don't like that
It didn't-
idea.
It did not.
Yeah.
Tear.
I don't believe that.
The second one, Fury says, "Yeah, the snap tore a hole in our eye." I'm like, no, it.
That's what
fucking did
Mysterio
it.
told him.
A lot
No,
of people.
it didn't.
A lot of people were really upset that he said, "Bitch, please, you've been to space."
I like.
Did you
that.
see the things where like he's a Skrull because Fury would never say that? I'm like, he's Samuel L. Jackson.
Bitch, please.
Are you kidding?
Yeah,
me?
He almost
please.
said
Said
mother
motherfucker.
effer at the end. Yeah.
He actually did, but they cut him out.
Yeah.
Right.
Just the theory is like people are like, man, you guys need to scale this movie way down.
I know
Look,
people
I-
are looking
I-
at this way big.
I'm already like, yes, Mysterio's conning him.
Yeah.
100%.
There is multiverse stuff. I just don't know where.
I
yet.
think there is multiverse stuff. We don't know where exactly it is, but I do think that Fury wouldn't be going along with this so much if he didn't believe there was some multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that snap line is true either. That's probably what Mysterio told him, but there is something multiverse in this movie.
I
why
don't-
would you
I don't
go
want-
up to someone? Why would you go up to someone and be like, We could have used a man like you on our Earth if you're not conning someone.
Yeah.
And then, but I think that Fury suspects Mysterio is conning them.
Yes.
And that's why he brings in Peter.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I...
But he doesn't tell
yeah.
Peter that's why.
Yeah.
But that's why he brings in Peter. He wants Peter to be the moral compass that kind of figures out what's up.
Yeah.
I still don't want multiverse stuff in Spider-Man Far From Home.
For me, I don't either because I want Spider-Man to be
Because we know
small.
the multiverse exists thanks to Doctor Strange, but I
Well,
don't...
a version of the multiverse exists.
Especially
still.
after Endgame, I want the next movie, if it's a Spider-Man movie, to be grounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like what he says in trailer, I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I really like the line where he's like, "Bitch, please, you've been to space."
It's
I'll
really
tell
good.
you, I get that. I totally sympathize with that, and I agree. I'll tell you right now, though, if they're going with a plot where Mysterio is saying, I'm from another Earth, and they're believing in this multiverse thing,
There's something
you got to
involved.
have something in there that's from the
Yeah.
multiverse.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to think Fury's dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's my other end of that.
So the
Yeah.
other thing is there's a clip going around online. It's not an official clip. It is leaked from the Ellen Show. I think it's supposed to come out this week.
I think it's out now.
I think maybe they released it now, but the one that came out wasn't
Yeah.
initially supposed to have
Yeah.
been released. But there is a clip where Mysterio says that this world that they're on, the MCU Earth, is 616, and that threw everyone for a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Again, I don't buy it. I think it's him being like, yeah, it's Earth 616. Look at audience.
Yeah.
It's not
But see, I would think
616.
that, but then Selvig did the thing in Dark World where he put 616 on a board.
It's
No, I know.
babbling nonsense.
No, I know, but like if you're going to do a silly joke thing, don't use a callback because that will make people think things.
I don't.
That's my thing.
I don't think the MCU is. I don't think they would designate the MCU as 616.
Yeah.
I just don't think they do that
'Cause it's
I,
not.
I don't think. I also think.
I
they-
don't think it matters.
I also
Yes.
don't think they would designate it at Earth.
Yeah.
I think it's not something.
We're not there yet.
I don't think the MCU needs to do that.
We're not to that capacity yet.
But anyway, so things that were really cool in this trailer, real quick, that I wanted to touch on. I love seeing more Happy.
I love
Yeah.
Happy.
I like seeing.
Does it make you happy?
Yes, I like
Very.
seeing the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Also,
I like him joking with cops.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of over the Iron Spider suit
well,
already.
it's I
I
want
think
to.
it's just the beginning. And
I also-
No. I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just over it already.
But the other thing is, there's a line where he says, there needs to be another Iron Man.
Mm.
I think that line is going to mean something different when we see it in the movie. I think I think we're on the same page. I'm pretty certain knowing you guys that he's going to learn that the world doesn't need a new Iron Man. It needs Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
I think someone else put it as that the first film was all about Peter wanting more responsibility. This film is all about Peter having more. Actually, I think this was actually Tom Holland saying this because I was listening to a set interview. And this is him having more responsibility and not wanting it at that time. Like now he's gone and he's become an adult and he's like, oh man, nope.
Yeah, like wow, I finally get to be an
I'd like to
Avenger.
just be a teenager,
Yeah.
I think.
Like wow, I get to be an
Can I
Avenger
just-
now.
can I
Now
just-
you got to save the world. No, I'm okay.
Can I just go talk to the girl I have a crush on, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a name drop of Captain Marvel the first time they say her name in the franchise.
Yeah. She's unavailable. That's a good joke. Of course she is.
Yep. Captain Marvel. There's her name.
So yeah, but truthfully, hey man, this movie looks great.
It
Looking forward to it.
the effects
The
look
better
great.
the better question is, and I hope they bring it up, like he's like, why not Thor? Why not Captain Marvel? I'm like, bro, look at what's going on here. Why not Doctor Strange?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Why
Definitely that should be a question.
I wouldn't be
here.
surprised if that's a longer comedic scene where he lists like every Avenger.
Yeah.
And it's just like, nope, dead, nope, snapped, all this stuff.
snapped.
I don't know,
Someone was snapped out of existence on
Yeah.
accident.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. I'm looking forward
It
to this
comes
movie a
out,
lot.
what, July?
July, yeah.
2
July.
months?
It's the next Marvel movie we're talking about.
Heck yeah.
All right.
So MJ's just gonna know he's Spider-Man apparently.
I guess so.
Again,
laying
crazy
that
theories. I saw somebody say either A, that's Mysterio jerking him around, or it's Chameleon.
Or it's Chameleon.
I saw somebody say that Nick Fury might be Chameleon. That's why everyone's pulling something
Yo,
Yeah.
yo,
Wouldn't that be dope as shit? That's some Sinister Six stuff, dude.
I'd
yo.
be into
If
that.
if Chameleon was in this movie, I'd be pretty
Because
happy.
We've pretty much really seen what, like the first half of the movie maybe? We have not seen what the real like threat possibly is.
Dang,
So like what if it's Chameleon and like a small Sinister Six?
that's awesome.
So is Mysterio's inclusion? Does Mysterio's inclusion and the proposed villains from Spider-Man 4 thing? Because when
Oh,
Spider-Man
yeah.
4 is being developed, it was Vulture, Lizard, and Mysterio.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten all three of them now.
Yeah.
In subsequent reboots.
Yeah, I
and
mean they were some
sequels.
of the biggest ones that like
Haven't
we never
been done.
got to see. Like, who's left now?
Mysterio
is-
looks so good.
He does.
And he's
does.
definitely like
God, we're
I
never
really
gonna
hope
get
they
Kraven.
lean Craven. Yeah, no, he's baby. He's getting his own
We're
movie.
getting a movie with Craven.
Can we not?
We're gonna
All
see
right.
his origins.
Shall we go into our main topic?
Pika Pika.
All right, then, to start our main topic, we're talking about Detective Pikachu, the 23rd film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. This isn't a Marvel movie
Man,
topic?
when Pikachu picked up that shield, it was crazy.
We're not doing a Marvel topic. This is something else. Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
We got to
All
take a
right.
week off at least
Okay.
This is a different cinematic universe.
in
It's not
development.
even a cinematic universe yet.
It's gonna be.
So this is Detective Pikachu. So full spoilers here on out for Detective Pikachu. If you have not seen the film, go see it and come back.
Go support it.
So, spoilers ahead. What do we all think about this one? Sparks, I'll go start with you.
This is a world I will gladly go back to. I liked it.
All
I
right.
liked the world.
Ryan.
Yeah, I thought it's one of the cutest things I've ever seen. That's about it. That's good.
Yo, can I just live there?
Yeah.
Can I just
Right.
can I just live in the Pokemon world, please, and be a Pokemon trainer like I've always wanted to be, please?
So I think, for my initial thoughts, I think I'm probably going to be a bit more positive about this film than I think I enjoy this more than you guys. If Ryan's Facebook post was anything to go by.
Oh, I just gave you the score.
Yeah. So
That's surprising. That's awesome.
Yeah,
'Cause I figured you'd have as much problems with the plot as we did.
Yeah.
you know what? No. And I think a lot of it is just let's just get into it. I
Yeah.
don't have nostalgia for Pokemon.
Yeah.
I don't think you have to. I think it's bad movie
No,
plot.
but I don't think it is. I think it's
Oh, wow.
a Pokemon plot.
It's not, though.
I think it's just as bad as anything that was on that TV show, or even those subsequent films.
If you are a person who has only watched the anime, I'll grant you that. But Pokemon is more than an anime; it's a video game and a manga series, and both
Yeah.
of those are stronger stories than this movie.
Oh,
In
yeah.
But
Mewtwo?
I don't have that. I don't have
Sure,
that
but
reference.
even then,
you're
this is
fine with Mewtwo having god powers. He could do whatever he wants, and you just accept that?
he
'Cause,
cloned
like,
a bunch of Pokemon and made them fight each other.
that's...
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right.
It's no dumber than anything else. I've
Putting
seen in
the
this
souls
franchise.
of human beings, your soul.
I'm not saying it's not dumb.
It's just bad.
I'm not saying it's not dumb.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's not breaking anything for
Okay.
me. It's not. It's something I didn't expect to see it. I think it's a weird film. It goes for something that, but I think it sticks the
See,
landing.
all the Pokemon stuff for me works. It's when it's trying to do big this is the same plot as Amazing Spider-Man. I was telling him it's the same plot as a lizard. He wants to turn everyone into a lizard. He wants to turn everyone into a Pokemon.
Yeah, the only part of the plot I don't really like is that the villain's plot is kind of lame.
Yeah.
I don't disagree. I don't think the villain plot.
No, but
works.
I'm saying that's the only part I don't like.
Yeah.
Everything with Harry and him being the Detective Pikachu and,
Yeah.
and with the kid, all of that works for
When
me.
did you guys call the twist? By the way, that he was Detective that he was Pikachu.
When
Oh, I didn't.
when Bill Nye's character what was his name?
Harry something.
No.
Harold.
Bill.
Were you-
Just call him Bill Nagy.
Bill Nye. When Bill Nye was saying that Mewtwo can put the souls of humans into Pokemon when Pokemon are only enraged, that's why they have the R stuff.
So pretty late in the film.
Yeah, pretty late.
I don't know when I called it, but I think I had a suspicion early on in the movie that this was a thing, especially because we never see Harry's face.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so if we're not seeing his face, and like everything that kept going was like confirming my suspicions.
Yeah.
So we never see his face. So I was like, okay, so he's got to be a famous actor if they're hiding
I
his
just
face.
thought it was going to be a famous actor, yeah.
It's got to be a famous actor. Could it possibly be that it's Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
or would they go that way?
They would.
And they did.
And besides the nonsense soul stuff, I like that it was his dad.
I mean,
thought
I'm
it was
okay with
sweet.
it. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's
part, I'm
cute.
like, yeah, it is dumb, but I was like, you know what, I'm okay with it.
But so I think so. My argument for the dumbness, because I don't agree that it's not dumb. Wait,
What?
I do agree that it is dumb.
There
Let's
you
just
go.
go with that.
There you go.
I do agree that it is dumb. I think they go for a thing and they do that thing. This is the movie they set out to make, and hey, they did it.
No, it's like we were talking about last night. It's a simple film that establishes that this movie can work, that this world can work, and that I'm fine with that. I'm all for that. I'm all for everything in it.
Visually, every single Pokemon on screen looks beautiful.
There are
Not every time.
There are about
No, not every time, but
there are about a dozen Pokemon on screen at one time, at
Uh-huh.
any given time, and that's insane. But as Sparks just alluded to, sometimes they're not rendered right,
true.
and and you can tell.
Yeah, but like the scene with in the fighting arena when Magikarp first pops out.
That's great.
Just seeing a Magikarp.
Yeah, that Gyarados almost killed that Charizard.
just do splash. I'm like, man, that was great. And seeing him evolve into Gyarados, I'm like, holy shit, that looks
wanna know
great.
some-
Charizard looked amazing.
You want to know something that kind of got to me? It was like he went for everything else, but he didn't go for this. The balls. They start big. They don't start small and then turn big.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, you went for everything else. Why didn't you?
Well,
just
you
go for
only
the extra
see
mile?
you only see a
Twice.
Pokeball twice.
Twice.
What's the second time?
The second time is in a video with a guy throwing a Pokeball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where we
At
think
the
it's
trainer battle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. But still, we got a few Pokeballs.
Yeah, we did. That's the thing. He takes it out of his bag and he's like,
Yeah.
"Here's this."
To be
It's
fair,
like,
that
okay.
was something created only for the anime.
Was it really?
Yeah, that's not
Interesting.
something that's never established in the video games or in the books.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's talk about. We're going to bounce around a lot. I can tell.
Justice
But
Smith.
I want to talk about the reference to the fact that this is a sequel to the first Pokemon movie.
Oh yeah, how?
Well, it's a sequel to the original story of how Mewtwo shows up, which is in the games and
yeah,
all that.
It's
It's not just the
yeah.
sorry, it's just not just the movie.
So
I don't have that reference point, so
No,
that's fair.
in the video games, in original Red and Blue, they did say that there was an ancient Pokemon called Mew,
Yeah.
and there was a genetics lab on Cinnabar Island
Cinnabar.
where they
Cinnabon?
said that, hey, we're getting close to cloning a Pokemon, and they did, and Mewtwo is in the Unknown Dungeon, which is in Cerulean City. And in the Pokemon the first movie, it's essentially like, yeah, but we're just gonna skip the whole he's in the Unknown Dungeon, he's just Giovanni's pet until Mewtwo says, "Screw you, Giovanni," and flies away.
With that
Right.
cool helmet.
So it's taking. So I like
That
how
was
they
a
do
cool helmet.
how they reference both the Pokemon movie and they also reference the video games.
Yeah, they say the Kanto region,
Yes.
which
Yes.
I took as a reference to the first
Yeah.
Pokemon movie.
The
But I guess there was more
smartest
to
game.
it.
the
the
smartest
game.
thing that this movie did, and I was expecting it to be very referential. It was not referential in terms of, hey, it's Giovanni. Hey, it's Team Rocket. hey,
no
it's
Team Rocket at all.
Yeah.
No.
I was
Right.
shocked.
When we saw the little R on the canister, I thought it was Team Rocket. No, it's not.
No.
So like it subverted all the expectations I had going into Pokemon movie, which is good because like we've talked about, this is a very good setup. This is a good foundation to build either the past or the future of this franchise.
And we
This
do
is-
get the original theme song twice.
we do. And
Yeah.
and little Pikachu singing it sadly is like the saddest, cutest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds is great.
I think Ryan Reynolds does a really good job as Pikachu.
He does.
I love
yeah.
Ryan Reynolds
He's
as
not just
Pikachu.
Deadpool.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's developed a lot as a voice actor.
Yeah.
it's really great. It did leave a lot open to the world because I want to see the movie that takes place 20 or so years before that is Red's adventure as it leads up to
I
him
want to see Red and Blue.
confronting
I
Giovanni.
stayed
and
to the
Mewtwo.
end, and I thought for sure we'd get a reference to something.
No.
But no, nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
It was smart.
Yeah, it was really smart. It exists as
Standalone.
a completely standalone
And
Pokemon
it ends
film.
like it straight up ends. Like it can't like, oh, maybe Pikachu will come back
Yeah.
with a voice. Like, no, this is done, dude.
This is
No.
a one and done
Yeah,
film.
I'm
and
glad.
You hear
Yeah.
and in the credits, Ikana Otani, I probably just mispronounced her first name. She is the voice of Pikachu.
Yes, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's nice.
So they do put her in the credits as the voice of Pikachu.
Man,
where-
that Pikachu's real cute when he's staring over Harry's dead body and looking at the Mewtwo. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no.
So
Yeah.
you called the like is Ryan Reynolds going to be Pikachu thing? Did you call Bill Nye being the bad guy from the beginning of the movie like I did?
Not the beginning of the movie. All that because
Where they went into his ominous office
when he
now,
was in the office, like, oh, he's the bad guy.
where he evolves a Flareon in front of him.
The second I saw, and also, but I mean, it is referential, but it's also not referential. Like you were mentioning, Ryan, about how there's no Team Rocket, there's no mention of
Yeah.
Giovanni. But I do like how they have like the 3 god Pokemon.
But those are Pokemon.
yeah, but
that's
still-
fine.
but-
Pokemon are fine.
Yeah, they have Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia.
And again, the smart thing they did was have all 800 allowed and just pick the ones that they want. So
Yeah.
they can just they're not limited to 150. They can pick the
There
gross
were
ones.
Pokemon in this movie that even I didn't
Like
recognize.
Lickitung and Ludicolo, like the blah blah blah. The guy
What
just
about
yells.
the garden ones that end up being the mountains?
Yeah, those
Oh,
are
Torterra. That's Gen 4.
So when I saw those and they were like they released like, oh my god, they're the blah blah blahs. I was like, okay, but that's a problem that there are just 4 kaiju Pokemon.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then they just go immediately right back to sleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm glad they're not there. I'm glad they're sleepy.
that they better be very sleepy.
Yeah.
They better find a way to shrink them
For
down.
a second, I was like, is this going to turn into a kaiju movie?
Yeah. They're just 4 kaiju
I was
Pokemon.
thinking that was like an Onyx or something, but nope, that's a freaking Torterra.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm so sad we didn't get to see an Onyx.
yeah. Onyx is cool, man.
we gotta what's the Ghastly? The
Gengar?
Gengar. We got a Gengar.
And a Blastoise.
He looked way different than I expected him to look.
Yeah.
But it looked cool. Like I dug the way that they looked. They all
Yeah.
looked.
I like that the Jigglypuff song was actually in the credits as the Jigglypuff song.
Yeah.
And it
It's
was
like-
from the anime, and it put the dude to sleep, and she was bad. Although I'm kind of bummed that she didn't draw on his face, but that's
From
fine.
Might not be the
sequel.
same. Might not be the same Jigglypuff.
But
It could be a different Jigglypuff.
it's true. But
That's
yeah,
a single
you're right.
character-
You're right. It was
character
only
trait,
yep,
yeah.
You're right. You're right. But one thing I did really like was oh damn it, I lost my thought. Son
I'm
of a
sorry.
bitch.
You liked a lot of things.
I did. I just like the way Bulbasaur was so freaking cute.
Yeah.
I wanted
God
to cuddle the shit
damn.
out of that Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
I can I don't know if this will work on Ryan. I know it'll work on Ben and Brandon. I can tell you right now why you like Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur so much. Do you want to know why?
Adorable.
What animal do you think they look like that you have all loved in a movie before?
I have no idea what you're talking
Little baby Godzilla from Space Godzilla. Tell
Holy
me I'm
shit.
wrong.
Holy shit. Holy shit, you're absolutely right. Charmander specifically looks exactly like baby Godzilla.
I know it. It's
As
the
from
eyes.
Godzilla versus Space Godzilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at their
It was
eyes.
fudge.
All three of them have the exact same eyes.
Yeah.
As that.
I
little
love that
Godzilla
baby
Jr.? That guy?
No, baby Godzilla.
No, no.
Baby
Godzilla?
Godzilla.
I thought Baby Godzilla.
Legit baby Godzilla. Not
There's
that,
a couple
not
of
Yeah.
different Godzilla.
Ah.
Yeah, no, that's Manila.
Nope.
I love Manila.
that. No, I don't.
Look up baby Godzilla in Space Godzilla.
Okay, Space Godzilla.
Yeah,
Got it.
Yeah.
you're right. That
You're-
Godzilla is
you're
adorable.
absolutely
Oh, I know.
right.
I was like, this is why this is working. This is why this is working on me.
So when the
That guy?
yeah
Oh, he's a cutie.
Yeah.
when
he
that,
is a cutie.
when that Gyarados
Evolved?
splash that Charizard, I turned to Zara and I go, okay, but if that Charizard's tail goes out, that
He's
thing
dead.
could die.
Well, yeah, but Charizard's tail. But
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
going to. I'm not going to.
Also,
That is
Tim.
deep
Tim's the
into
kid's
the
name,
lore.
right? Tim.
Yes.
Yeah.
He goes and tries to stomp out his tail, and I'm like, "Are you just about to try to murder this Charizard?"
No,
like, I
that's-
get you
This
want
is
to.
an animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? That section was even in the beginning of the film. It represented the thing that Pokemon did well, which is that these are animals that exist in this world.
Yeah. Not only that, what I thought was so good is that the world feels open just with that opening and where we end up with Rhyme City being this one city where Pokemon and humans live side by side. But then, you have so many places you can go, and there's this town that Tim is in, and then the field and everything, and it feels like very different settings, but you can see Pokemon in them. So there's so many different places
wild
we can
grass, just like
explore
the game.
in a larger cinematic universe of places to go with these Pokemon.
the first
Yeah.
Pokemon you see is a Pidgey, and then you see a Pidgeot, and I'm
Yeah.
like, man, that's so cool right there.
And then a Cubone.
Yeah. It was definitely like
Little Cubone.
I only saw this once, but it felt very almost like Ready Player One. We're like, ooh,
Yeah.
Pokemon, ooh, Pokemon, ooh, Pokemon.
But I think less so Ready Player One, where Ready Player One does that because they want you to point out
This
the
makes
references.
sense 'cause it's
this makes sense
Pokemon.
because
Yeah.
this is the world that it lives
it's a
in.
Pokemon world. Like
Yeah.
it's just really cool to see.
Yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't a Pokemon on screen, the coffee shop had a picture of a Noctowl on it, and Noctowl's one of my favorite Pokemon in Gen
Yeah.
2. I had one on my team.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things like that. So what do we think about Justice Smith?
I like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot.
He I think is the person that sells the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
He's very
and-
he's like, I don't give a shit about. He does okay. He gives a shit, but he's like, I don't
I've
care.
never been so creeped out and flattered in my whole
he
life.
feels sincere and genuine.
Yeah.
And this is partially a knock on the writing of the dialogue in this movie, but everybody around him feels like a goddamn cartoon.
I think the writing in this movie is
when the
pretty bad.
when the girl Kathy Newton first shows up, I was like, oh, is she serious with the way she's saying these things?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So she's just out there. Okay. All right.
I don't want to dive into my thoughts on this too much, just because I'm insecure in my thoughts. But I don't think the writing's bad. Just gonna play that there and let it
okay.
die.
Look, the dialogue writing on these characters, like the way she introduces herself, is like, I'm this reporter girl, and I'm here for this, and I'm like, whoa, all right, this is.
Yeah, she was laying on a little thick,
and
wasn't
honestly,
she?
it feels weird when she shows up specifically because he has been grounded. He feels like a person, and everyone around him kind of feels more like a caricature. But she commits to it 100%. The guy who has the Charizard at the fighting place, he's written like a goddamn cartoon character. He commits to it 1,000%. Good on him. So because they commit to it, I'm sold on it. So, but Justice Smith does the hard work of creating an emotional core. For
right,
the
and that's
film.
what I think go back to, they went for a thing and they did the thing.
Yeah.
Like they went for that idea. They
And
deliberately went
and
for
he
it.
sells it. So
I wanted to touch. You brought up the girl. I forgot her name.
Catherine Newton.
Catherine Newton. I want to talk about her Psyduck. I think there's a lot of really fun moments between Pikachu and that Psyduck,
Yeah.
especially when he finds out that he has a Psyduck. He goes, "You didn't tell me she has a Psyduck."
Yeah.
That can blow us up when he gets stressed out.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the kid can understand me. I can understand him. Look, you got to calm down.
Yeah, I like a lot of the interplay between that Psyduck and Pikachu was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I like Justice Smith a lot. I wanted to go back to that real quick. I think Justice Smith. I've only seen him in 3 movies. One of them was Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom.
Yeah.
That was the first film I saw him in, and I really regret that.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a talented actor,
He is.
and I'm really hopeful that he can get away from that role.
And
I
I
had no
think he
problem.
already
I had no
has.
problem with him in that movie.
I have a problem with him in that movie.
I did like his character in that movie. Him, I was like, whatever.
Yeah, I mean specifically him as an actor. I wasn't against him
well, and
as
then-
an actor.
And seeing him in this Pokemon movie, I really like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That's Fallen Kingdom. That's a bad movie. I would say Detective Pikachu. He really is like him and Ryan Reynolds. They steal the show. Like you're right. When Lucy, the reporter, shows up, I was like, yeah, you're right. Those are some choices. She's saying some like really, like, oh, I'm a reporter, but
Just
I'm not
a
really
generic, like, it's me, I'm a reporter girl.
Or
You gotta
someone-
get the scoop. You
well,
got
no,
any scoops?
she wants to be a reporter. Well, she's an intern writing
Yeah.
listicles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it.
They're all cute.
Yeah.
Part of it that played a little weird for me too, and this is I'm acknowledging this is 100% just my expectations. I thought it was just weird how hard she comes in, and like it's never revealed to her that like his dad might be dead, but she's coming in that hot, and I'm like, this is unusual, but all right, roll with it. But that's it was just weird, a weird beat.
Ben, I want to be clear. I'm not like Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom was a bad movie, but like
Yeah.
how he played that role.
Uh-huh.
I'm only saying that I regret the first time seeing this actor was
Yeah.
how he played that role.
Sure.
Because
Uh-huh.
he's just Screamy McScreamer Pants who disappears halfway through the film, and I don't
Yeah.
care. But if I had seen him in I saw him in Every Day, where he's good. That's surprisingly charming film, but he's good in that, and I see him in this. If I had just seen him in those two films, my perception of him wouldn't have been the first time I saw him in Detective Pikachu. I was like, oh well, okay, I know what this is going to be. But I was so wrong, and I really regret that the first time I saw him was Jurassic World. Fallen Kingdom.
I'm with you. The first time I saw him was in Fallen Kingdom as well, and I kind of thought thought that went through my head was that Justice Smith was going to get typecasted as the nerdy guy who doesn't like seeing outdoors or being in the outdoors. He was going to be that type of character. But him and Detective Pikachu completely changed that. I was like, no, this dude's good. I like this dude.
Shout out to Chris Gere. He plays Bill Nighy's son, Richard.
Yeah.
In the film.
Roger.
He's awesome.
Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that Ditto?
He's from real quick. Chris Greer's from You're the Worst.
Oh yeah.
So he's really good, and the fact that they kind of subverted away from him being a slimy villain impressed me.
Yeah.
Only because, like, regardless of like, oh, was Bill Nighy the bad guy or anything, like him not being a part of it at all, I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well done, because he leans into that.
He
hard.
got dittoed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the Ditto. You see, you
It's
know
my
what?
favorite scene.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this movie. It's a miracle that it even exists. The fact that we see Ditto transform and they still have the beady eyes
Yeah.
was shocking.
Which is great because in the anime, that's how you can tell a Ditto from a real Pokemon.
Yeah.
Are the eyes.
And I thought
Yeah.
that was, a lesser movie wouldn't have done that.
no.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, a
all
lesser
those
movie
characters-
would have been like, nah, it can just like look like.
And
people.
every time, I love it how it's a callback because every time someone was wearing sunglasses, that was really Ditto.
Yeah.
Even the girl with the pink thing, I was like, okay, she just likes pink stuff. No, that was Ditto.
It makes sense,
When
yeah.
when Ditto
When it
was,
was
the
the
sun,
sun,
he
yeah.
always had
He
the
had the
sunglasses
sunglasses
on. I
on.
was like, okay, that's smart. Good on you, movie.
and didn't
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. It's really smart.
Yeah, I honestly look, it's shocking that this film even exists, to be fair.
The people behind it were clearly very passionate for it.
Yeah.
And it works. It works really well.
yeah, I
Like
agree.
all of the Pokemon interactions, all of the Pokemon when they're there, they all feel like how they should.
Yeah.
And,
Ken Watanabe, a lot of the actors look like they're having fun in the
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
and it really comes off.
Seeing Ken Watanabe, the look over is like, oh, Snubble here? And then he tries to go pet Snubble at first, and Snubble's like,
His
"Grr."
little, never mind.
yeah.
everybody committed to it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
that
agree.
that helped a lot.
I think so too. I think this film is successful.
Bill Nighy talks about Mewtwo, and I never thought that would happen in my life.
Bill Nighy is Mewtwo, and I never thought I'd see that in my whole life.
I didn't need to see that part, but I mean, Bill
Ridiculous.
Nighy talks about Mewtwo and Pokemon, and that's real cool.
Yeah.
Also, good fake out because at first we had no idea what Mewtwo was going to be in this movie because none of us had played the game. And seeing Mewtwo in that containment chamber.
Real quick, that game's not out in America yet.
No, it is.
Oh, it is out.
Detective Pikachu's
It's-
out in America.
It has been out, and also I watched Gerard
Completionist?
I watched
Yeah,
the
same.
completionist video about it, and that game was not good.
Yeah.
But that game, it's not the greatest. But I'm glad I didn't play that game, and then see this movie because I would actually say that this movie might be better than the game.
Probably, yeah.
I once again, I've never played it. It's unfair for me to make that assumption, but I like seeing Mewtwo first because we were all thinking like, oh, is this when Mewtwo was created? And then later on we'll find out no, they caught Mewtwo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like that.
Yeah, I really like that too.
Yeah, and
there was a lot
I
of good
too.
subversion tricks, like from the get go of the movie. Like it shows Mewtwo chasing the guy, and I'm like, it's kind of weird to start the movie right here with this kind of implication. But then it's like, no, it was the Greninja. Mewtwo was actually saving them. All this good stuff.
And all you hear is Mewtwo saying humanity is evil, but you show me not all humans are bad. Another callback to the first movie, because Mewtwo himself is like, man, screw humans. And in the movie, maybe they're not that bad.
Maybe they're not that bad.
Well, that's what I going from. If you look at this from my reference point, which is that first Pokemon movie, like if you look at it, he goes away to be alone with his cloned Pokemon. He's like, I don't want to touch on humans. Then someone captures him 20 years later, and he's forced to interact with them again.
And it more or less, either way, whether it's not those specific events, or even necessarily, I would say it's not even going to be specifically the events from books or from the game, but they left that idea, like everybody's familiar with a rough history of Mewtwo was created, all that kind of stuff, leaves all those same things, whether it's from the movie, whether it's the version from the games or the books. They painted that tapestry, and now they can go back and tell that story at some point.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I'd very much like to see.
I don't have anything else to add, really. What do we all think? Anything more you guys want to touch on?
More Pokemon movies.
Yeah, like I'm
like it.
I'm not like super hot on the movie, but like everything involving the Pokemon themselves, like I was totally in for it. Like they nailed that part completely.
Yeah,
like they did, like you said, Brendan. Like I don't agree with like a lot of the choices of the movie, but the Pokemon stuff, they went for it and they got it right. And that's, for me, that's all I really could have wanted.
And I think the daddy-son story works real well too.
I really like the last
Right,
third
Brandon?
of the movie.
Yes,
the last third of the movie for me kind of falls apart, but I really like everything involving Pikachu.
Just hearing Pikachu tell Tim, saying like, I don't know if if he was here or not, but he'd be damn proud.
Yeah,
of
that's
you.
that's
just
such a
hearing
good scene.
Pikachu saying that, hey, just the electric mouse Pokemon.
Just
looks
seeing,
really good.
Look, no, you know what? Go further than that, Ben.
Yeah,
go further. Just seeing a furry a photorealistically rendered Pikachu, Mewtwo, Bulbasaur. Just looking at those things and being like, I just saw a real Pokemon on screen.
Yeah. Take note.
And it wasn't
Paramount.
bad. And it wasn't bad.
Holy shit.
Hey, Paramount, take frickin'
It's
note.
too late.
I know.
Yeah, there's nothing they can do with
We
that.
saw that trailer before the movie, and I groaned.
Anything else? Or do you want to move on? Rate it. Rate
I
it.
got one little thing. They gave us Pokemon cards before the movie,
They
and I was
did.
so happy.
I
have not been this jazzed about
Did
Pokemon.
you get a Charizard?
No. I got
Charmander.
I got Lickitung. What'd you get?
I didn't get. They were out by the time I got to the
Aw.
movie. Yeah, I was bummed.
You got what'd you get, Ryan?
I don't remember.
Okay.
All right, so
he got Snowball.
Snubble?
Snubble?
Yeah, Snubble.
Snubble.
So Ben,
Okay.
final thoughts.
As someone who has grown up with this franchise, especially the first 150 and especially the first 250, the plot wise, it's all right, but it is a good movie. I would say a video game movie curse has relatively been broken. This breaks that mold of
It's also
this,
an anime movie.
and an anime movie. Yeah, this
Two
is
for one.
This is good. This is. I mean, yes, the plot can get stupid at times, but especially if you grew up with Pokemon, you will like this movie. If you do not, if you hate Pokemon with a dying passion, don't even touch it.
Well, I could say that about anything.
But I think
If you hate comic book films, don't go see
you did
Avengers.
touch on a good point. Like, if you have like a 0 level of familiarity, this movie's hard to get into. Like,
Yeah.
you even, Brandon, have a base familiarity of like
Yeah.
the old Pokemon
played
movie.
it, yeah.
Like, someone who has like nothing, it's hard to follow
I would be
this.
totally fine with showing this movie to my mom because she was the one who would buy my Pokemon toys for my brother and I. So showing her this, she'd be like, "Oh, that was."
To be fair,
kinda
your mom's
cute."
not the demographic that this film is aiming
But
for.
still, I'll be comfortable showing her something like this than someone who doesn't even know what a Pikachu is.
Yeah.
Rate it.
7.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Real quick, IGN just did a review, and they had 4 people on, 3 who were Pokemon experts, and 1 who has never touched Pokemon in their life, and he thought it was just fine. He also thought Mewtwo didn't make any sense. And that's kind of where I still stand. Like, I understand he did some crazy stuff in the first movie, but that he's just supposed to be a really powerful Pokemon. Doing soul shit, like, even for me, that pushes it a little far.
Well, it's not really moving souls. He's just moving human beings into the Pokeball that is their Pokemon. It's like catching them.
Okay.
Yeah. It's no weirder.
I don't like that still, though.
I mean, to Sparks' point,
Yeah.
is no weirder than their essence being
I want you
trapped
to
in a
know
little ball.
No,
that
I know.
wasn't 100% sincere.
No, yeah. Okay.
No, but I'll buy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give it I said 7.5. I'll stick with 7.5. I think it's legitimately super cute.
Sparks?
Yeah, I really like it. I think that it did everything that this movie needed to do for Pokemon. And I 100% say that this is the beginning of a cinematic universe. They're going to make more. It's going to make the money it needs. They're going to make another, and I'm hoping that like it's something that's set further back. And Ryan and I were talking about this last night. Like the potential for this world is very open. Like seeing a adventure film in exploring the world of Pokemon, a trainer thing, a narrative following Red or a character like Red, where he comes face to face with Team Rocket, and
Not Ash,
the battles
please.
the battles with Mewtwo and everything. Or
You can do Ash.
or
don't be an elitist.
we really don't need Ash.
Ash sucks. No way.
We really
need
don't
Ash.
need Ash.
I'm just saying, don't be an elitist.
It's
We've
not
had
being elitist.
hundreds
It's,
of
being,
years
it's,
of
it's
Ash.
being
It's just
like
what I prefer.
there is much more to Pokemon than Ash, and we don't need Ash.
Yes,
He's just a bad anime copy of Red,
100%.
honestly. And Red's better. As Ryan was saying, like we could have a romantic comedy set in the Pokemon world, and I'd be 100% into it. Like it's so open a possibility. I really hope that they go crazy and they go for it from here, because this was very simple contextually. I want to see them go nuts and be like, okay, this works. We can do a Pokemon movie. Let's go wild. Let's do some real cool stuff. But as of what it is, I really like Justice Smith. I really like Ryan Reynolds. I think they ground that father-son story. I think that works really well. I think that all the actors, whether they're given good dialogue or not, commit 100% to the film and to the world that they're living in, and it's really fun. And I had a great time. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I give it I'll give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I think I echo a lot of your sentiments. You know, it took me a little while when you were saying cinematic universe to think that, you know, it doesn't need to be a connected, shared Avengers thing. You could do standalone films set within this world.
Yeah, that's
periodically.
entirely what I mean. Like, I don't need to see Justice Smith in them again.
I don't want
necessarily.
to.
I wouldn't be against like seeing them in something, but I don't need a story about them.
Okay,
you know, like if it was something in Rhyme City and he's there like working with his dad and he's a detective and all that, and that was part of it, that's fine. But I'd rather see something that's like 20 years ago, and it's, you know, just building that narrative of the Pokemon world. But it doesn't need to be Marvel. It doesn't need to be Avengers.
So I think that'd be pretty interesting. I don't know how well this movie has done, but I think the nostalgia of the franchise helps it. As someone who has no nostalgia of the franchise but still has a reference point, I played one game, for example.
Which one was it?
I've told you before. It was like gold or something, gold and silver.
Avengers was number 1. Pikachu was number 2.
It's good. I kind of figured that would be what we're looking at. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It shocks me every day that this is a real movie, honestly.
Shocks.
Real quick, it's the budget was 150 and worldwide it's at 170, so it's fine.
So yeah,
So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's going to make back its money.
Totally fine.
I figured the overseas market would be better than the American market.
I think it still will be. I think we're still going to see it doing well for a little while.
Also, Pokemon is now
so-
the most recognizable franchise ever. Beat
Oh, yeah.
Star Wars.
Oh yeah.
So all that echoed. You know what? I kind of sit with a 7.5. But
You seem to like it more than us.
I certainly did like it more than you guys. I don't know how much more, truthfully, but
I don't know where on that scale that lands, but okay.
well, Ryan
Well, I don't know.
said
Yeah,
that.
I mean, but
Was
I don't
that
think I don't know that necessarily you liked it more than me. I'm just nitpickier.
Maybe.
I think I still enjoyed it a bunch.
That's true. No, that's true. Yeah.
But I don't know. Probably, I think I would sit with a 7.5. Truthfully, I enjoyed it so much I could go for an 8. But
I almost could too. I thought about
I'd
it.
have to. I'd probably have to give it another watch. So
Yeah.
that'll do it then.
Real quick, I just want to say that I thought the end credits were real cool. How they turned everyone
Oh, yeah.
to the
Yeah.
to
The
all the
Pokemon
game
characters.
models of
So
their
cute.
characters. That was
Mhm.
really awesome.
All right. So shall we get into our book club?
Pika.
Yeah, let's do
I
it.
want to talk to you about the Smash Bros. Initiative.
Oh.
Hey, welcome to the Fake Nerd Comic Shop.
Yeah, hi. Do you have any books?
Could you be a little bit more specific?
Anything readable?
Right then, time now for our book club. Ben, take it away.
Yep, for the book club this week, I decided to keep the Marvel train going because why the hell not? With a character that I'm not really fond of, but with a team that I absolutely adore, and it's Hulk Gray by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale.
When'd you get that?
I got that for Christmas. You guys got it for me.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we got you Dorian Gray.
You got me Dorian Gray. This cheap cheeky bastard got me 50 Shades of Grey.
That's
and
Ryan. He pointed out by the way.
That's Ryan. Sorry.
Yeah,
and
50
then
Shades, baby.
Sparks actually got me Hulk Grey, which I want to thank because
But that was all part of collaborative.
It was a thing we were doing.
It was. But for me, this is
You wouldn't have liked the other thing we were going to do.
I don't want to know. But
actually, we'll tell you. This is a good time. We were discussing each only getting you certain issues of Hulk Grey, and when you'd opened all the packages from us, it still wouldn't be complete at first.
Oh.
And then we'd give you the last issue later, and you'd be missing like issue 3.
Oh, you
It wouldn't even
bastard.
been issue 6.
You bastard. So I would have had like 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 about like
Yes.
missing issue
Yes.
3.
But I would have given you like 1 and 4.
Oh.
Yeah. That was
And
the,
you
that
wouldn't
was
have
the
realized
gag.
it at first.
Oh, you sons of bitches.
Yeah.
You should have done that. That would have been a lot better.
Nah,
But
I like
you
what
wouldn't
we
have
did.
had
Yeah.
wouldn't have had it in trade.
We knew you wanted
Yeah.
the trade.
Yeah, because I have this is the third of Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale's Marvel Colors books because they have
Yes.
Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, Hulk Gray, and then the last one was Captain America White.
And that came on. That one only came out like 2 years ago. It was super delayed.
Yeah.
Captain America White just is the most recent. Hulk Gray it's the last one for me to get in my collection, but recently Marvel has released a hardcover omnibus of all 4 books.
And how much is it?
That's like $150.
It is $100.
It's $100.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
$25 for per volume.
And I'm like, no, thank you. So I just had. So this is I believe, is this the first one of the Jeph Loeb Tim Sale color books we're doing on the show? Because I think,
No, we did Daredevil Yellow.
oh, yeah, that's right, we did Daredevil Yellow. So this is the second one.
Did we do that when we
Yeah,
all
we
read
did,
it?
Yeah, we did that when we all read
we
it.
did do that. Did we do that?
Must have been a
'Cause
long
I
time
don't-
ago.
I don't recall reading it.
It was a long time. I know it was a long time ago.
It was. I'm not saying it wasn't. But it was in the cycle when we were all
Oh.
reading it.
Oh,
2 years ago.
well, once again, Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. You guys know how I found out of them through Batman: The Long Halloween.
Yeah.
And the color books, and this is the first, and this is the last one in my collection. But I want to do this one because I haven't read it before I picked it.
I also haven't read it.
And also, it's like, and what I do love about the color books is that they look into the character early on in their career. Like when Hulk was first created back in the '60s, he wasn't green; he was gray.
I did like the line of dialogue where he's like, "Yeah, a lot of people speculate as to why. I didn't even know why."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. And I have to say, I love how the present is all black and white except for shades of green.
Yeah.
But the flash,
Got
because
it.
the whole book is told in flashback.
His eyes are green.
His eyes are green. Even when his arm goes a little large, it goes green. And the flashback itself is in full color.
Right.
And I dug this
Beautiful
story.
watercolors from
Oh,
Tim
yeah.
Sale.
And I really, really liked the story of essentially the first meeting between Hulk, Betty, and Ross. where-
And Rick Jones, who
And
was
Rick
from our
Jones.
last book club.
Yeah, Rick Jones.
Oh, shit. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
Rick Jones.
there's
Rick
some connective
Jones.
tissue.
Mm-hmm. I totally didn't realize that. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
So I was once again Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. I feel when those two are together, they can do no wrong. I know Jeph Loeb. There are times where he's written things that aren't that good, but every time those
Well, this was Jeph Loeb in his heyday. Like
Yeah.
Jeph Loeb used to be a
This was-
really good writer.
Yeah.
This came out in 2003, as in the books. The original drawings were coming out in 2003, and I gotta say this is great.
I thought this was really excellent.
Yeah, I did too.
I thought
Yeah.
the writing is really incredible in spots, and especially this is probably my favorite of the. I haven't read Captain America, but I've read the other Colors books. This is probably my favorite one because I expected so little from the Hulk. Like he gave me more than I expected with this character,
Right.
so that for me like exceeded expectations. And some
There
of
were-
some of the writing is really dark, and I really appreciate
Yeah,
it.
there were
Yeah.
a lot of shades of
Gray.
the Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh yeah.
I could definitely see like they took some inspiration from there, like the bit
Sure.
where Hulk says "Leave me alone."
Yeah.
like it's like the first thing he says, "Leave me alone."
The bit where
Um,
they're in the cave in the rain.
Yeah, the
I
bit
love
when
that
they're in the
scene.
cave in the rain.
Yeah.
Like absolutely, that's taken from. I mean, obviously, like the Incredible Hulk took that scene.
Yeah.
But the "Leave me alone" bit reminded me of when in the movie. When he first turns into the Hulk in the film, and you just hear him breathe, and he just says, "Leave me alone." I
Yeah.
thought that was a cool little touch.
It's also very much a like a Tarzan Jane moment with
Very
Hulk.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In that cave specifically, Bruce is talking to his psychiatrist, Doc Samson, who actually has superpowers, but they don't talk about that here. But
This might be before he did.
Okay, maybe, yeah. It is, yeah. But he's like, Bruce, is that what happened? Is that how you remember it happening? And he says, I can't answer that. Can't or won't. Doesn't matter. And like him being sweet with Betty while he's the Hulk, did that actually happen? It doesn't matter.
It calls into
question
that Bruce might be an unreliable narrator when it comes to the Hulk.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
There's a lot of that.
He's making out the Hulk to be more sympathetic than he actually was in those times. I really like the scene, his first kill. When he kills the rabbit.
I have it right here. He says, I know it was the first time the Hulk actually killed anything. He was petting a rabbit, almost like a Frankenstein moment.
Yeah.
Also kind of like
Frankenstein.
Also kind of like
of Mice and Men.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was the first time the Hulk actually killed anything, and the Doc responds, at least in the way you told the story, the Hulk, meaning you, was innocent. Leonard, the Hulk is many things, but none of them is innocent.
Yeah.
And like this is in the moment where he believes the Hulk is an enemy, and like. The portrayal of the Jekyll and Hyde shit is so good in this. I love it a lot.
Yeah.
This reminds me a lot of Ben. You said you don't really care about the Hulk that much.
Yeah.
I want to recommend if you like this, you'll love the Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, it's a lot like that.
There's a lot of shades. The Immortal Hulk takes a lot of shades from this book. I think there's a lot of parallels there.
Yeah.
I would think you would like that.
Incredible Hulk for me, he was always that character, like the angry. It's anger management, and it's like when you get angry, he's just big, green, and stupid.
You know what's funny
and
though,
he was
Ben?
one of those characters that, the Incredible Hulk is a comic book character, but then I never saw the depth. I never wanted to go into it. I was like, the Hulk is there, but I gravitate more towards Spider-Man.
Did you ever see the Earth's
Wolverine.
Mightiest Heroes animated series?
I did not.
Hulk's really well portrayed in that series.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny is most people know the Hulk as the big angry guy, but the comics do everything in their power to subvert that by making him Professor Hulk, Mr. Fix-It, by making him an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and have him time travel to the past.
Yeah,
like
this
they do
book-
all this stuff like in the off time, and then when the Hulk gets popular, they make him big and boring again.
Yeah, like in Hulk Gray. I loved this book.
Yeah,
this I will always when someone if anyone ever asks me is like, hey, what Hulk book would you recommend? I'd always point to Hulk Gray because this one, it's like. He's not stupid. His vocabulary isn't.
He's a little stupid.
He's a little, but you can tell he doesn't want to hurt people. He doesn't want to get angry and
he's
kill
animalistic.
Yeah, it's the thing we saw. It's the thing we saw in Thor Ragnarok. The Hulk is another personality of Banner. It's not just him being angry.
Yeah.
The Hulk is a person.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a difference between saying he's stupid and saying he's
brutish.
I wouldn't even say brutish. He's almost childlike.
Well, I was going to say I was going to say he's young. The Hulk is a young personality.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he's stupid. He's not stupid in an emotional sense. The Hulk, they point out like he recognizes things in people. He recognizes cues. He recognizes all these things. Mm-hmm. He's just not. He's a child. He's not familiar with all concepts.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go for.
All the scenes he has with Betty in the book are just phenomenal, especially in the rain. Where he's trying to help Betty
in the cave,
where he's trying to help fix Betty because he accidentally threw Betty in and split her head open.
That was rough. I thought she died for a second.
Yeah.
Oh man, Iron Man shows up in this book.
Oh yeah,
It's an admission no one talks about because he gets his ass kicked,
and nobody knows it was Stark at the time.
Yeah,
he was right. He was
that's
hiding
some
that.
real good like secret origin stuff right there.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. It's like there's no record of the Hulk fighting the Iron Man at this time. It's like trust me, this happened.
They do
really
tie that
cool
in Jason Aaron's original Sin stuff.
I saw that. I recognize that. I thought that was. I thought that sequence was a really nice surprise and a lot of fun to read.
It was.
I really like how Tim Sale drew that first Iron Man armor. I thought that looked really good.
Yeah.
I thought Ross was also really good in this book.
Yeah,
General Ross.
I was even showing Fanny. I was like, "Babe, look, the Hulk's fighting Iron Man." She's like, "Whoa, that looks like his first arm." I was like, "Well, yeah, it's an iteration of the very first Iron Man." But I love how Tony Stark was in there for a hot cameo. And
is that? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I like that scene where Ross is trying. Like, that scene where Ross is yelling at Betty and is like, "You are our general's daughter, damn it. Now act
Is that
like
Tony
it."
Stark? Don't worry about it, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe. We haven't got the rights yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was I going to say? Just Ross as even letting on that how Betty's mom kind of went crazy. Because I didn't realize Betty died until the end of the book, or close to the end of the book, where they're talking about Betty was.
Yeah, once they start talking past tense.
At the current time, wherever Hulk Gray's present day takes place, which I don't think was the Marvel was the current Marvel universe at the time. Wherever the flash forwards of Hulk Gray takes place, Betty was dead. She hadn't come back from the dead yet.
Yeah.
As Red She-Hulk? Did she come back
God.
as Red She-Hulk?
She came back, but like she turned into that. But like I don't know enough about that, to be honest. I found that super silly.
The it's stupid. The Rosses can turn into Red Hulks, and
I'm
the
cool with
Banners can turn
Thunderbolt
into
Ross being just Red Hulk because he needed to be in opposition to Hulk. But once you start getting Red She-Hulk, I'm like, now we're getting.
Well, the idea is
they
that,
do mention Thunderbolt Ross in the book too.
Well, the idea is that there's a gene in the Rosses family that can turn them into Red Hulks, and there's a gene in the Banner family that can turn them into Green Hulks, which is why Banner's cousin is She-Hulk.
The Banner one makes sense, I guess. But like,
None of
Hulk,
it makes sense. None of it makes sense.
It doesn't, but like if I had to stretch it, it's so silly.
I really like Thunderbolt Ross in this book.
Yeah.
I think he's really good.
Quick little side note: I made me happy that also kind of bummed out because I do not like Ross as a person in the book. I love the character of Ross and how he's portrayed, but I hate the fact that he's also a Dodgers fan. Because there's a line where he's talking.
I have the quote right here, my friend.
Yeah.
He says like he's like talking to his daughter who's asleep, and he's like, I don't think you remember this, but like you have this baseball. Do you remember me taking you to spring training to watch the Dodgers? You actually wanted to play baseball when you were little, asking why girls can't be soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
Like he like loves his daughter, but like he's so like all that stuff is so good.
Yeah,
But he's also like super oblivious of her.
Yes.
What I
Yeah.
really like about the color duology, quadrilogy, is that they are retellings of origin stories in different ways, mostly through flashbacks and whatnot. Like Spider-Man Blue is
it's all about Gwen Stacy.
Is about Gwen Stacy's death and how that affected them.
Daredevil Yellow
but
is
this
about...
one, but they take the idea that, this world. This story takes place in the 1960s. We're going to make it look like the 1960s. We're not going to explicitly say it's the 1960s, though. Yeah. I really like that they keep that true to the era that this origin takes place.
And again, with Banner being an unreliable narrator, it's like, why would you run into the middle of a desert with the biggest bomb of all time going off? Oh, I had to save Rick Jones. Did you really?
Yeah. Nobody would have.
Did you not maybe know you were going to become the Hulk? Like, it asks so many questions of like, maybe Bruce isn't a good person?
Yeah,
like I really like it.
That was an interesting wrinkle because like nobody would have cared if Rick Jones had died.
He would have incinerated. Nobody
would have cared.
Yeah,
but did you know? Like it calls into question if Banner knew that the Hulk was always inside of him.
Yeah,
and maybe he didn't. Maybe you can look deeper. Maybe the Hulk wanted to come out. Maybe the Hulk knew. So that'd be actually truthfully that's something the Ang Lee Hulk movie deals with, is that the Hulk was always inside of him. It wasn't just created when the gamma radiation came off. So props for that. For that horrible movie.
That's cool stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
It made choices.
Yeah, I do want to say, Ben, going back to I think you'd really like Immortal Hulk. Immortal Hulk takes place current day, and it's Banner can't die. Whenever he dies at night, the Hulk comes out no matter what.
Yeah,
and it's like it's the Monster Hulk.
He's called the Devil Hulk, and he's brutal. He's vicious. He's very intelligent.
I read the first 6 issues.
Yeah, that book is awesome, and it's a horror book. Right now, where I'm at, I'm behind. Hulk's in hell. He's
really?
just legit in hell.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Hulk is in hell, and some demon is possessing the form of his dad, trying to get him to open this portal to let all this hell stuff out. It's real good.
I got Marvel Unlimited. I'm going to read that now.
I like that book
that sounds
a lot.
awesome.
I like Immortal Hulk a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So can I borrow that?
I have the single issues. I have to dig them up.
I got the first 6.
Oh,
I can
sweet.
Give you. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that book a lot. So Immortal Hulk feels very much like a thematic sequel to what we just read. Hulk,
like even with all the other colors books, like the one obviously I won the most was Spider-Man because I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. And then after watching Daredevil
that was the best one.
season 1 and 2, I was like, oh, I want to pick up Daredevil. And then Captain America for the movies Captain America, and then I was like, couldn't find Hulk Gray to save my life. Thankfully, Sparks got it for me for Christmas, so I can complete my collection.
Credit where credit is due. It was all of our decisions.
Well, but still, thank you for that, guys. And now that because the Hulk Gray, I thought I was like, okay, that might be like the quote unquote low point because I'm not a huge Hulk fan. After when I was reading this book last night, I'm like, no, this is a solid book, and everyone should own this. Why hasn't Marvel put this out in single trade form more?
Yeah.
I mean, it's great that it's in the omnibus quadrilogy, but then people are gonna have to drop $100 just to get that.
After reading this one, I've only read the first 3. I've not read Captain America White.
Same.
I hope Captain America White is as good. I have no reason to think it's not. But
when I read it,
all 4 of them. See, here's the thing: all 4 of them seem to be some of the greatest books ever written. Like, truthfully, they're all great.
Yeah.
All three that we've read
It's like classic Marvel stuff.
are
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I hope Captain America White is just as good, because that would mean that all 4 of these books are great.
Yeah.
Now, I have read Captain America White, but it's been a while, and I can't really remember it, so I'm going to have to hey, maybe future book club.
Maybe.
Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale do a really good job together. I think that not part of this colors thing, but very much in the exact same vein as one of my favorite. Whoa.
Yeah.
You were coming in really low.
You could have just told me to speak up. Now I'm real loud in my own head.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, I did not like that. Jeez. Okay. So anyway, what I was going to say is that now is it too loud?
No.
Okay. Now is that Superman for All Seasons is one of my favorite Superman comics of all time.
That's a
It's
great
very
book.
much in the same kind of vein thing. But I think that the thing that we didn't talk about in the Hulk one that we should is the end, which is like the whole reason he was talking to the Doctor is because he was circling around a realization that Betty loved him because he was like her father.
Oh.
And that's not great.
That isn't good at all.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that at all.
Yeah, he
pick up on
says
that.
she loved me for all the wrong reasons because the exact same pleading that she's doing for him to spare Ross's life is the exact same pleading she's doing to him to not hurt the Hulk.
Yeah.
And she draws the comparison that they're basically the same.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting.
That's the realization Bruce has is she loved me for all the wrong reasons.
She likes bad boys.
Interesting.
And then truthfully him realizing that he is just like Ross, which is kind of what the Doctor's hinting at is are you sure that Ross is that terrible?
Yeah.
Are you sure the Hulk is that innocent?
Yeah. Man, that stuff's so good.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
It's great stuff. It is great stuff, and I just love the
Which
whole.
is brutal. That's a brutal realization
And
at the
I
end.
love because normally when I see like dialogue boxes like that, when it's where it's like for last week's book club, the Avengers Forever, it's descriptive. There wasn't a single descriptive box in this whole book. It was just them talking over and them reminiscing, or Bruce reminiscing events when he was gray, and I love it when books do stuff like that. I absolutely like it because when I first saw the whole black and white stuff, I was like, what's going on here? Is this the tone we're going for? And then it goes into Bruce getting hit with the gamma bomb, and then the rest is in color.
And that's a beautiful image, man.
And then we cut to the end. It's all in black and white again. Bruce hulks out, and he is completely colored. Everything else is still black and white, and I love that art choice. I absolutely love it.
It was real weird seeing him green in this book.
I liked it.
I got so used to seeing him gray, and then when we got to see him green, I'm like, whoa. All right.
Yeah. I like that we got to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you guys want to touch on?
No, man, this book's dope. I'm really glad I read it.
Book's
Really
real
glad
good.
this was chosen.
I'm glad I picked a winner because I feel the past few book clubs I had were a few stinkers.
No, were they?
I don't even remember the last.
I don't
book
remember
club
the last book club.
I remember
honestly.
what I ate. Oh, I didn't eat breakfast.
That's why.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, it's your book club next week.
All
What
right,
do you got for us?
Sorry, guys, more Marvel. I'm going to read the synopsis real quick.
Oh, again? I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Just give me
All
more.
right. The Civil War never ended. Welcome to the war zone, where 6 years of nonstop battle between the forces of the blue and the iron have split the nation down the center, utterly transforming it. In a world of new alliances and strange enemies, President Tony Stark and General Steve Rogers meet to make one last attempt at peace. This is Charles Soule's Civil War, which was a Secret Wars tie-in book. It's a completely self-contained, future-ish story of what if the Civil War never ended. It's written by Charles Soule, and it's written by, drawn by Lionel Francis Yu, one of my favorite artists. He's currently in my background on my phone. That's why I picked this book. This book is awesome, and it's exactly what I want, just like a weird retelling where characters are in different positions. It's really fun, real great. It looks incredible. Can't wait.
As soon as you started reading the descriptive, I started writing it down because I knew exactly where you were going with that.
So it's Civil War by Charles Soule.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the full title is Secret War: Civil War.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I think that's what you were wondering.
Yeah,
for.
it's a Secret Wars tie-in book. Yeah.
Yeah. 6 issues? 4 issues?
5 issues.
5 issues.
Yeah.
All right, so that'll do it for us this week. Next week, we have a review of John Wick Chapter 3.
Oh my God.
Parabellum.
boy.
Oh my God. Is that it?
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's next week.
Hell yeah.
Also, we got some YouTube stuff going on. It's continuing Fake Nerd Watch. You guys are still going on with Game of Thrones.
Yep.
That's tonight, baby.
And
Basement Arcades on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I don't remember.
Basement Arcades, I think Wednesdays.
When it drops.
When it drops.
When it drops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more stuff to come on YouTube, probably. So keep a lookout.
This episode will go up. Other stuff.
It's happening.
Are the MCU reviews up yet?
The MCU rewatches.
The reviews, the old.
Oh, the old
archive
ones.
Reviews.
Nah, dude. Like,
I'm just
stuff's taking a long time.
That's fine. That's fine. I was just wondering. I don't keep track of what's on there.
rendering and exporting takes a while.
Yep.
No problem. All right. So as you guys know, we are a promo. I almost said we were a promo code. As you guys know, we are a Funko affiliate. So click the link in the description for 10% off. Nope. Click the link in the description. Buy something on Funko. Use promo code SHOP10 for 10% off your purchase. Thank you so much. Pave Media for including us in our things. I don't know where I'm going with this, but Pave Media. You can check us out. PaveMedia.net. You can find shows like us, like Batman vs. the World, Beg to Differ, multiple other things. Let's get contextual.
Heck yeah.
A lot of cool shows. Definitely check those guys out.
Support the friends.
We do have a Patreon. I'm in the middle of overhauling it, but if you guys want to support us, help keep the lights on. It's currently dark out right now. We can't see anything.
I don't know what anyone looks like.
Neither do I. You can definitely.
The guy something just touched me. What was that?
It was Luna.
That was my. Don't like I say. What I was.
Whoa!
You can link it.
What a
link
reach.
in the description. And yeah, there's that. TeePublic. We've got some shirts. tpublic.com/user/fake-nerd-pod.
Leave us alone, Disney.
Yeah. You can check out some shirts. Hopefully some more shirts to come. We'll want to pad that thing out as much as we can. Thank you to everyone who listens. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you to Jeremy Vellucci for our intro music and promos and whatnot. Nope, just the intro musics. You can find him at Jeremy Vellucci Keyboards on Instagram. You can find a show. He has a show called Suburban Proctologist. You can find that on iTunes. Facebook.com/Suburban Proctologist Official. Instagram at SubPodcast. Mike Matola, thank you so much for our logos. I'm currently in talks with him to get him on the show again soon. So
heck yeah, baby.
We'll hopefully settle a date there soon.
I love dates.
He should come on and talk Dark Phoenix with us.
That would be interesting.
I don't think he'll go see it in theaters.
I'll buy his ticket.
Right?
You can find him at Mike Patola on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you. Nope. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm so hungry. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast. FakeNerdGuys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Sparks.
Sparks Witty on Instagram, SPARKZ Witty.
Ryan.
I have an anecdote. In the 2011 interview, director George Miller was asked if he had any plans for Happy Feet 3. He said, if you put a gun to my head and said, you have to come up with a story for Happy Feet 3, I'd say shoot me. I'm at DJ Tony Snark.
For more of that same content. Ben.
I'm at BenMagnet27 on Instagram and Twitter.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, rate and review wherever you get
YouTube.
And YouTube. Find us on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it if you do all those fun things that I just mentioned. I don't remember what I just said.
Watch our shit.
Stay fake nerds.